Yo, folks, and welcome to Raconteurs News on this Tuesday evening of 20. Yeah, we're looking at fucking time instead of date. 20th, it's not 20th, it's the 23rd of November, and the year of our Lord 2021. So there you go, there we are. We're in November, we're a month before Christmas. Officially, tomorrow, it'll be a month until Christmas Eve. What a marvelous thing that we've got to come if it's not cancelled in the meantime. Anyway, tonight we've got what's his face with us. What's his face? Webby. Evening, Webby. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, pal. Are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Have you had a good weekend?
It's been a weekend, mate. I'm getting there. It's a rough ride at the minute, pal, but you know, it is what it is.
It is a rough ride, mate. You're right. It is. It is a fucking right rough ride. But yeah, you've got to make the best of it you can. You've got to make the best of it you can. Let's just say hello to some of the people in the chat room tonight. We've got Paul is in there, Sean Hamer, Tony's in there as well. Faith Ferrer, Thick Hunt. We've got what's his face? Uni, the old what I don't know what we should call him. The incel Hitler youth man. Stu is in there as well. I'm sure there's plenty. I'll get to saying hello to everybody over the coming couple of hours because we've got plenty to talk about. Whatever your position is on everything, there's plenty to talk about, including our rights. What's going on in Austria, from what you can gather, Paul?
Well, if you remember when they said they were going to lock down the unvaccinated, vaccinated and unvaccinated went out protesting, and then quite quickly within a couple of days they decided that they were just going to lock everybody down because obviously the vaccinated were going to, or some of the vaccinated were going to support the unvaccinated because of this medical apartheid. But if you lock everybody down, well, the ones who are vaccinated, you could break them and turn them against them. So there's the divide straight away. But what is more, I think what I found more frightening is the quotes that are coming out of Germany. Never mind Austria, but the quotes that are coming out of Germany. There's one minister who's saying that by this time next year,
we'll be millionaires.
No, not even that funny. You will either be vaccinated, cured, or dead.
Cured? What does cured mean?
I've no idea what cured means. This is like we keep saying about these dangerous times, but you know it's people don't seem to pick up on things.
They've gone into lockdown this morning, haven't they?
Yeah, they were going to try and enforce just the unvaccinated, so they decided to lock everybody down. You can't leave your house unless it's for an hour's exercise, go to the doctors, go to work, or something like that. Or do you know what? If you go into court, if there's a legal matter, you can leave your house.
Right.
But the crackdown, I think you saw the picture that I posted about the university professor in Berlin saying that, you know, forced vaccination has got to be considered as a last resort.
Yeah, and I saw an incredible piece of footage. I didn't get the whole thing because it weren't so. I don't know what sort of context it were in, but I think it was that fucking crazy Jacinda woman in New Zealand. She had, that New Zealand accent that's sort of Australian cross with South African.
Yeah, go and have your tist.
Yeah, yeah, bast. You're a bast. Yeah, it's a bit Scottish as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like Vinnie Eastwood used to say "fush" for fish. It was fush.
Fush, yeah, fish.
Yeah. But yeah, she's come out. She's blatant though now. I mean, I'm just reading an article there that what they've done in New Zealand, they've created a Maori elite, and they seem to be victim based. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there's an elite of Maoris that they lifted up, but Ardern is basically saying, look, if you're vaccinated, there are no restrictions. You can do whatever you like. That's it. So if you're not vaccinated, you're doing nothing. And as long as it's not a big country, and they've had a long time to brainwash people. The likes of Vinny Eastwood, there can't be too many of them because he doesn't even get he doesn't get spoken well of by his own people. It's only other people from outside New Zealand that like the views what Vinny has because he's being honest about his own country, but the people in his own country don't want it.
No, New Zealand. I mean, what she said were quite. This statement were quite
Scary.
scary. Yeah, where she was saying that everybody who's in hospital with COVID is vaccinated.
Yeah.
So I don't know what so get vaccinated. I mean, I don't understand why you'd say, look, everyone in hospital is vaccinated, so you need to be vaccinated. Do you know it's all.
Well, I've just seen an ITV news article that is saying that there's 45 million now that are double vaccinated, right? But double vaccinated is now being classed as unvaccinated because you need your booster, and you're going to need a booster every 6 months. Now, me being a skeptic, are the 6 monthly boosters going to be necessary to actually keep the vaccinated alive? Because if the first two jabs lowered the immune system by, I think it was 45%, and then the third booster will be up to 75%, because apparently the first booster reduces your white blood cells and it takes 8 weeks for your body to get back on top with your white blood cells. It just so happens that your second shot was 8 weeks later. So you for 8 weeks, for 16 weeks, you debilitate your immune system and then put the booster one in, which could be the worst thing that starts to cause you issues. But what if those, how can I put it? What if those white blood cells will never regain enough and you're going to have a booster shot to actually give you the white blood cells to have an immune system? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So a bit like Universal Soldier, you're all healthy and fit until your serum starts running out, and then you need to get injected to not die type thing. As a skeptic, that would be a really good policy to have in place if it's possible that you could get to do that. Up until 2 years ago, I'd have never said that they could get away with something like that, but just look at what's going on now.
Yeah. I just want to make it clear that we're not giving any medical advice. We are giving our very own opinions of what how we're going to be doing things. So everybody should be in charge of their own health issues. I think this is one of the points. That's the main point that we're making here. It's a choice matter. We're not screaming and shouting, telling people not to take it. Well, we're not anymore. We're more like screaming and shouting, leave us alone, aren't we?
Yeah, well, do you know what? If the people that were actually not pushing, but if the people who wanted us to have these vaccines weren't really well-known liars, weren't linked with things like Planned Parenthood, which is eugenics based, if those people weren't involved, if somebody who hasn't got any medical background whatsoever, all he's got is money, and he's telling us to have this, and then the vaccine isn't a vaccine, and everybody who's making the vaccine is not liable for prosecution, I've got a few questions before you put that in me. And then when I'm seeing in Australia that people are being picked up and taken to camps by the army and they're going to be forcibly injected, that's dangerous because if you're going to, in Austria, they're talking about force injections. That is somebody pinning you down, Jace, and injecting you with something. That's rape. If
Yeah.
anybody injects you against your will, anybody enters your body with anything, that is rape. And yet a man has written it down and says we can do this, so it's legal. It's that point that people have got to stop and say, well, legal doesn't always mean it's right then. But until you break that, don't know what you do.
No, people just seem to be intent on just going after. You see, it like the problem people have got is that once they've took the first and second dose, they're sort of in, and I don't mean like they're stuck in. They've got to have the third dose. What I'm saying is that they're in like a situation where they're going to have to admit that they were wrong, and people aren't good at that.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, something clicked on in the background, mate. That was all.
that's all right. Yeah, I was just saying that people are going to people are so stubborn that what they'll do is they'll not try to. They don't want to lose face. You know what I mean? So the government knows this as well because they've been studying people's activity all over Facebook and things like that, and what they think about things and their opinions on certain things. So they know who and what. They know how, as a whole, the population of the planet, whatever you want to call it, then they know exactly how people are going to respond, and people don't like to admit that they were wrong.
I think that's one of the main things at the minute that I see a lot of people posting stuff about. I mean, we were talking about quarantine camps 10 years ago, mate. We were talking about things like that, and yet another conspiracy theory comes true. Yet people can't say, "Do you know what? This is weird." It has been talked about. It's almost as if we've never ever spoken about it, and people are shocked.
Completely shocked. Shocked. I'm sorry. I'm looking at chat. I'm in Daft syndrome. All right. Okay. Mick Ramo talking about his AIDS, I think. Yeah. Why would that? This is an hello in it. Why would you stand in line for a third shot when the first and second shot didn't work? Again, this is because they know what we're doing. They'll know what people will do, and I'm sure they know exactly who the refuseniks were going to be, as they call them.
Yeah.
So it were the people that wouldn't pour fucking ice water over their head. It were the people that didn't go in for all these silly challenges. It were the person that didn't fucking share the. You see, this is the thing: is they share these things on Facebook about this month. There's going to be 7 Saturdays in this month, and this is the first time it's ever happened in like 840 years. Please repost this sort of shit. And people, we aren't fucking even checking it. Like, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous claim, but they'll fucking share it and post it, and people go, oh, yeah, that's interesting.
Well, I was fortunate enough that somebody gave me the heads up early on, but I had to go on several posts yesterday because they were posting a picture of a massive crowd, and it was saying Vienna yesterday. And it wasn't. It was when Gorbachev resigned and the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991. And that picture was going the rounds and people thought it was Vienna. Now, little things like that give people that false hope that people are doing something. And then they find out that it's not actually happened. It wasn't real. So that could be enough to switch somebody who just started to ask a question completely off. Do you know what I mean? That's still the game that they're playing at. And they hedge bets, Jason. They don't think they can fool everyone. There's no way they could do that. They can't please everybody All they need is that majority in the middle. They need to please enough of them and keep enough of them untouched, ignorant, if you like. Because I said before, the 60% in the middle are the trouble, are the ones that, the good people that won't do anything. They're the trouble. They're the ones that put people on cattle cars, not the dickheads who want everything, because they're a minority. And it's us dickheads that are saying there's something not right here. But it's the majority in the middle that don't want to know because, as we say, it's not knocked on their door yet.
Sorry, people are being disconnected on Facebook.
On the live stream?
Yeah. I'm just... Excuse me for my...
Well, do you want... Listen, I've got a video. Can you play a video while you sort that? Because I've got a video.
Sorted, I think it's just Facebook being a cunt. We've probably said vaccine a few too many times. But if it does come off, just go to YouTube. It's on YouTube. Search Raconteurs News. Find us. It's Raconteurs News. You'll find it.
I posted it, Jace. I posted the YouTube one.
Cool. Yeah, YouTube's the best one. Facebook have just been a pain in the arse.
And I never bother with Facebook Live. Never ever bother with it.
No, I just put it on because I've got, because it's got, I've got the ability to. I mean, it's going on Facebook and YouTube and on Twitter. But I can't see if anybody's watching on Twitter. That's the only trouble. But yeah, if you're watching on Facebook and it just go off, then just find us on YouTube. I've had problems. Got an Odyssey channel as well. I'm backing things up on.
I've been asked about Odyssey.
I mean, it's just backing it up, isn't it? So it's like a torrent sort of type thing, isn't it? File sharing. That's how it works.
Yeah. So
things can't be deleted from it, I would imagine, but it just depends how long it stays around, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I've got a video here, Jace, of Candice Owens. Have you seen it?
No, I've not. No, do I play it if you want?
I'll cue it up just one sec.
Who's Candice Owens? Oh, didn't she? You'll
know her as soon as you see this. You'll know it.
Right. Okay. Here we go. Let's have a look.
Not know what to say to this, except this. For the last 20 years, the United States has spent trillions of dollars overseas in Afghanistan fighting a war, which we lost, by the way. We were told that the war was necessary anyway. It was necessary, the slaughtering of American sons and daughters on foreign soil, because we were fighting a noble cause to spread democracy in a tyrannical land, to free an oppressed people. So I'm going to ask those same lecturing politicians and media members a question now. When do we deploy troops to Australia? When do we invade Australia and free an oppressed people who are suffering under a totalitarian regime? When do we spend trillions of dollars to spread democracy in Australia? Australia currently, make no mistake, is a tyrannical police state. Its citizens are quite literally being imprisoned against their will. So when do we deploy? Of course, I ask that in jest because we all know the real answer. What's happening in Australia under the guise of a virus, which, by the way, as of August 7, 2021, experts estimate the overall recovery rate is between 97% and 99.75%. What's actually happening under the guise of this virus is federal overreach, tyranny, totalitarianism, the kind that gives birth to evil dictatorships and human atrocities. We are watching a replay of the early ambitions of Joseph Stalin, Adolf Hitler, Fidel Castro, Hugo Chavez. That is what is hiding beneath the guise of this fictitious, perpetual need to slow the spread. We all know some more truths. That what's happening in Australia was meant to happen here in America. That this current totalitarian administration is fighting tooth and nail to trample state rights and federalize America. And if it were not for Republican governors standing in the way, we would be similarly stripped right now of our most basic of individual freedoms. Can anybody, by the way, explain to me in simple sentences why the Australian government is any better or any nobler than the Taliban? Both groups believe that they have a right to oppress and a right to imprison people for their own good. Are Western governments any better anymore? I can honestly say that never did I ever think that I would live to see a world war. But we're here. We are in the midst of an ideological and psychological global war. And it is a war that is being waged by governments all over the world, from here all the way to Australia, against the very citizens that they govern. So to that end, I say, welcome to World War III. Welcome.
Yep.
That's pretty powerful. That's mainstream. She's quite mainstream, and she's hit the nail on the head. Why aren't we doing that? Well, because it's meant to be happening in America, like it's happening in Canada, like it's meant to happen here. We're gonna be the last because of that common law stuff. If we'd have stayed in Europe, Jace, a man would have already written this legislation and fired it through. But the legislation is already there. The coronavirus bill, written 2020. Police officers can come in your house on suspicion without warrant. That's the beginning. Now, how did people say, well, how can they enforce that? It's against, it's unlawful, blah, blah, blah. It's agreed upon. It's agreed upon. If nobody says no in the right way, they just carry on. The factor is, though, it's the martial law aspect. They can't just tell us that we're under martial law because we'd have all kicked off. So they make it, or they placate most of us to an acceptance. Again, we've seen it in Germany and we're seeing it in Austria. We've not learned any lessons, Jace.
No. And the people that have learned that don't realise are probably sat in the fucking care homes waiting for the death. For their, I mean, anyone who's old enough to remember is going to be fucking old, aren't they now? I mean, they must be over 100. I mean, it's not that long ago that the last First World War guy died. The last soldier from First World War died.
Yeah.
And we'll be in a situation in a few years' time where it's going to be the same from here. And like in Germany, especially because the people that were around grew up with that and have been told that that's all wrong and don't want to see it again, obviously. And it's happening all around them, but they can't really do anything because, like they said, they're old and it's a young person's world at the moment, isn't it? The whole world is a young person's world. Well, the Western world is a young person's world. You look at coppers, younger and younger. Everybody's younger and younger. And I know that sounds like an old man thing to say, but it's true. I take everything back about that I said about my mum and dad when they were, telling me things that I shouldn't do.
Yeah.
And giving me words of wisdom. I wish I had. Paul Cotty. Yeah, evening, Paul. If you want on, mate, just let me know. We'll get Paul on. You don't mind, would you, Webby?
I don't mind at all. Taylor's already asked, could he come on?
That's it. Well, we'll get Taylor and Paul on if they both want to come on. We'll leave Taylor till second hour though.
Yeah. Get past the watershed. Get past 9 o'clock, and you can start talking about hero worship.
Yes, we can. Yeah, get past the watershed. Yeah. So I mean, we're in the hands of all these fucking young people that have been through universities that have made them woke in many cases. But do you think that they're what I was thinking about? I'm fucking done. I haven't even had a fucking joint yet, and I've lost my fucking memory. So while I'm speaking of memory, I went to visit Aid yesterday.
All right.
Yeah, I felt all right. So I strapped my leg on, jumped in my didn't jump in my car. I went to my car and got in it. and went and visited Aid, went to his house, and we had a good chat. First time I've seen him. By the way, it's a year today since he had his stroke. So today it's a year's anniversary since he had his stroke. So he's doing all right. He's takes him a little bit of time to speak, which is like me, really. I mean, it takes me ages to get shit out. So not much gone from there, but he's all right. We went out. We went down to Antiques Quarter because he wanted to. He's not got his driving license. He's got a car, but he's not got his driving license.
And that doesn't mean anything to an anarchist.
But you see, how does he argue with a couple when he's had a stroke and he can't really?
Exactly.
So it's he's waiting for it to come back. I know what you mean. But he can't. He's asking for permission again. I think he's getting a different mural as well because his mural had to be took off. He's been decorating. But anyway, he's all right. I went out with him yesterday. We had spent a couple of hours together, had a good chat. We had a good chat beforehand. He showed me his bike. He showed me how his life is now, and it's he's okay. He's recovering. So
good stuff.
we might have him. I didn't want to do that. Oh, let's have a picture, and it's all right because he's got a beard now. He's got a beard.
Wow, that must look different.
And he's lost 4.5 stone. So that's the way to lose weight. If you want to lose weight, just get very, very seriously ill. It worked for me, and it's worked for AD as well. So I'm only kidding. Don't get ill, for fuck's sake.
Well, the new vaccines give you a potential of strokes and stuff like that. So, I'll tell you what you were saying about going back to the 40s. Then how people can't see what happened then; they can't see it happening now. We're seeing news articles from Scotland saying that there's 21 stillbirths happened. That's really unusual. We have no idea why that's happening. Well, is there a common denominator? I think there might be. But when do we get to the point where we can ask that question? Because at this moment in time, we're being stifled from being able to ask real questions about things like that. You see things like where there was a woman who didn't want the vaccination because she was pregnant and she'd heard things that could do stuff to the baby. So she gave birth, then had the vaccine. She's now dead. And then you hear people, how many times do you see that this woman didn't have that she was an anti-vaxxer, but now she's dead? Well, on this woman, we had to ignore type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure because she was a bit obese. So we've got to ignore that and say it's COVID. Articles like, I'll just show you this one, Jace. I don't know, you'll have to forgive me if I've shown it yet, but look at that one. Oh, hang on. Not brought it through the right one.
You see, if you answer your emails, you'd be able to do this yourself.
What do you mean?
Well, you'd be on this as co-host now, wouldn't you? Because I told you I can get somebody now, and you can have same as me, same layout as I've got. But I sent you email, and you didn't get it. Oh, hang on.
It didn't come through my email. Has it come through?
The what? Sorry, say that again.
Just hang on. Share screen.
Jeffrey Clay, J.K. fucking hell. Jeffrey K. Clevermind. Clevemind. Excellent. Do you know Jeffrey? Is he a mate of yours, Jeffrey? Yeah, there we go.
Hey.
Jeffrey K. Clevemind. Someone in chat room, mate. Sorry. Right, so there we go. Yeah. A Victorian child age under 10. I mean, fucking hell. It's, how do you be 10 years old and, from Victorian age?
But just look at it. A Victorian child age under 10 Australia's youngest person to die with COVID-19. However, it was revealed that coronavirus was not the reason for either his hospital admission or death. So what's the point to that headline? How many people have read that?
Yeah, it's just it was just read the headline.
Exactly. And
Child lost to COVID-19.
And that's where we're at, Jace. People, they know that people have got that primary school level consciousness for information, so they get everything from the news. As long as their life is okay, there's no reason to question.
Oh, Taylor says he identifies as a Victorian age person. You identify as very, very many things, Taylor, but it doesn't mean to say we don't appreciate you, because we really do. Yeah. Over here in Britain. You're unappreciated in your own country, but you're appreciated here. Go on, Webby.
I think it was Aryan he identified as the last.
Aryan, that's it, yeah, pure blood. Pure blood. Has he got blue eyes? You got to have blue eyes, see? And see, I'm 2 out of 3. Blue eyes, but no hair. I can't remember. Is it
I'm blue-eyed as well.
Say that again.
I'm blue-eyed as well with no hair.
There you go. We're half Aryans. We're Ians.
No Aryans.
Sub-Aryans. Oh dear me. Yeah. So this is really where we're at. I mean, it's not a good place, is it? Here's something. Did you know that Kyle Rittenhouse and Greta Thunberg were born on the same day?
No.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Exactly the same day. Apparently, I've not checked it out. I read somewhere on Facebook. So there's a caveat for you. So I don't want to get banned for getting birthdays wrong and stuff.
The stuff with how people take what Greta Thunberg is doing and thinking that this girl has got points or anything like that, when it seems like this girl's just, I wouldn't say, abuse is possibly too strong a word, but I don't think that they've helped this girl by putting her in the spotlight, doing all this stuff. I mean, did she know what she was doing when she was singing "You Can Shove Your Climate Change Up Your Arse" in Scotland? No, did she realise that, no, they want climate change? Because all these people who are scared about the climate, I mean, it's going to get quite windy apparently this week, coming up to the weekend. All you've got to do is pay your taxes and the weather will be fine soon, isn't it? Isn't that right? Just pay your taxes and everything will be sorted.
Yeah. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Exactly. That's what you get from Greta. Again, it's the little girl with the plaits on the side. I mean, it's very, very Nazi Germany, isn't it? That sort of thing. She looks like she's one of those. She'd be eating at Hitler's table. Or maybe with perhaps she could have a date with Taylor. Taylor could have a date with her. Both going over to Hitler's for the dinner. I feel like we've said it too much now.
That's your fault, that.
For I know it is. It is my fault, isn't it? For first off, anyway. She shouldn't be doing things at her age. She should be doing things of her age. Yeah, she should. She should be doing things of her own age. Getting pissed on park at night without your mum and fucking dad knowing. That's what she should be doing. But she's 18 now. She can do what she wants. Well, it depends where she is.
She wasn't 18 when she was wagging school and sitting outside with a placard. If that was your kid, you'd be going grabbing her by her hair and saying, "Why are you not in school? You shouldn't be sat there."
And easy to grab her by her hair as well.
But the point I'm getting at is that it's all very convenient. This girl, who just so happens to have this thing about climate change, can get onto any platform necessary to talk about it. Yet you can't get onto the platforms. How many years have we tried to get onto bigger platforms to try and get information out? If the information is pertinent to the general public, you're not getting heard, are you?
Well, you're not getting heard unless you're rich. Simple
Exactly.
as.
Exactly. But even rich people, can't get a voice. Jace, Michelle Young, she's a billionaire. She can't get help in the courts. No barristers will represent her because the banks want all that money. So you've got a billionaire talking to a working class man like me, and we're both in the same boat. We can't get justice in the legal system because, funnily enough, it's not designed for justice.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, there
It's
are
designed
people,
for
aren't there?
commerce. It's designed for commerce and money laundering. And if you know how that system and how that accounting, how that money laundering works, you will have all the opportunities to be bought off, to buy in, to do whatever, to keep you quiet. If you've got morals and principles, you will be got rid of one way or another. If it's not through defaming you or ruining you financially, it's everything else because you can't. They can't be seen. There was I've got another picture.
Come
Here.
on, is it a picture of you in action?
Oh, hey, I've got a good picture for you in a minute later on.
What after we've finished? You mean?
Oh no, you can show it.
Oh right, okay, cool. Here
Have
we
you
go.
got that?
So explain this one then to me. Go on.
Well, if you look on the left-hand side, these are the families that everybody knows. Or these days, everybody's got an angle. More so, you'd say the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Onassis people, and Kennedys. Those two, they're quite close. The Astors, everybody knows about. The Bundy bloodline. That's an interesting one, isn't it?
Mm.
We think that these 13 families are the ones that are in charge of the world with the Rothschilds. But look at this side. These are the ancient bloodlines. These are going back a lot further. Now, I can only pick a couple out of here. Medici, Borgia, kind of. I can kind of think, and the Contis. No, sorry, the Orsinis. Now, these are bloodlines that you're taking back to, let's call it the 1400s, 1500s, shall we say, and before that. How many resets have we had in those times, Jace? If we're looking at photographs of Australia, Melbourne, and the photographs are showing 8 kids, 2 blokes, one holding a hammer, a horse and cart, and then a massive building that we can't construct now in the background with muddy roads. So they've not even built roads here or an infrastructure, yet they've built these monumental buildings. That's not true. It's obviously not true. So they're discovering new things or we're taking over new things. Does that mean the technology that we've had before, and now we're rediscovering it, and the technology of being able to or should I say, the knowledge through the Crusades and that of being able to look back onto these bloodlines, look back onto divination, look back onto speaking with spirits. You know, we've come so far. We're meant to have been like basically a caveman for a real long period of time. And then we managed to start putting some fire and wood together and things like that. And now we're meant to be the most, the most technologically advanced we've ever been. And we're just finding new stuff every single day that shows that that's not true. So along with all the lies I've discovered about the life we're told we live, we don't know our history apart from the recent history. We're only going back to the 1940s, and we can't see the similarities between vaccination programs that the SS were running to get rid of the elderly, to get rid of the disabled and the learning difficulties, and we can't see that correlating with midazolam or whatever it is. I keep forgetting that name wrong. What we gave to the elderly in the care homes, the vaccines. We're going to get rid of all the nursing staff, so the beds are going to be full in the hospitals. The elderly patients can't be shipped out to the care homes because there's no care workers because they haven't been double vaccinated. So we're creating a massive death cull, in potential at least. And if we're looking at back like Medici and all them, we're talking Da Vinci. We're talking about all the new world, all this new age stuff. Well, what if we were just taught a load of bollocks about mathematics, like algebra? What if we were just taught a load of bollocks and we think, look how clever we are? Well, I don't think we're that clever. You were talking about all the kids that are coming through, and these kids are taking up positions of power. Scripture says that we will be ruled by children, and we are being ruled by children. I've not seen what happened with Boris Johnson yet, but apparently some people think he's been set up for this speech fiasco that he's done. People are saying that he's going to resign or something's going to happen soon because he doesn't want all this dictatorship as bad as like Austria and what's coming here. He doesn't want it. How can you can't even think about stuff like that. You've got to say, there's something not right here. Let's start asking questions. But it's those people in the middle, Jace. Are they going to do it? Are they going to wake up enough to ask questions? I know people now who are asking questions that wouldn't have asked last year. I know people who are double vaxxed who have been horrendously ill, and no matter what, they're not having any more. But I know that as soon as that man is told, you can't go to football anymore, he's going to have that booster. And there's other people, the guy I'm talking about, one of his best mates, he's not been right since he's had his jabs. And people are starting to see that there is something wrong. But, it's 21 stillbirths, another 13-year-old gone to bed at night, not woke up the next day. I've never known it happen. So I think there's got to be somebody who'll go, let's have a chat about vaccines. Do you think that they could be causing this? Can we talk about it? Well, the factor is, if you've gone so many months, you're going to be classed as unvaccinated. So if you die in a hospital of any of these side effects, or whatever you want to call them, after a certain period of time, it's not going to be classed that you're vaccinated. So you haven't died of the vaccine, which is another convenient way of not telling you the truth, but not telling you lies. So we live in a world that is full of lies with some truths. And the truth, even when they're telling you the truth, it's a lie because it's out of context. And the English language, or shall I say, the education system has at least took the sharp edge off anybody you could think, because nobody knows what words mean anymore. And, I've said it many a time that my mum absolutely insisted that if I was using words, I needed to know what they meant, and she would test me just in conversation. If I used a word, what does that mean? And if I couldn't tell her what it meant, she'd be disgusted with me. And I'd rather go and have a fight with 6 lads as a kid than my mum look at me disappointedly like that. So, but we haven't got that now, because you pick that screen up, don't you, Jason? And you scroll and you go, oh, that's the answer, that's true. And that's enough for you in your life. So somebody said today that, oh yeah, this lad's really clever. He can give you facts that's from space where, billions of light years, and you're going, just stop. How can you tell me that's a fact? Billions of light years away, and he knows it for a fact. I went, he's still paying for his gas.
Yeah. Mentioning Boris, I caught a little bit of that speech, and I was a bit flabbergasted. And I thought, I did consider continuing to watch it, but then I thought, I was scrolling through, TV news stations, I think. And the part that I came across was he was talking about climate change and electric cars and things like that. And he says, as mayor of London, I implemented many these green things and all this shit. And then he said, I drove the first Tesla that was available to buy in Britain. Right, the first Tesla that was able to buy in Britain, although unfortunately it what's that word now when someone that's it. Unfortunately, it expired in the fast lane of the M4. Fucking hell! What a fucking advert there for electric cars. Prime Minister told you he drove the first electric car and it expired in the fast lane on the M4. For fuck's sake.
It backs up that what happened a couple of weeks back where the Tesla car broke down on the in-ramp on a multi-storey car park. And the backlog of traffic was just unreal. Because obviously, handbrakes on, you're not going anywhere. You can't get it to a charger. You can't get a charger to it. And then what do they do if they bring a mobile charger out? A diesel van drags... A petrol van will drag a diesel generator to charge an electric car. Great. Greta will love
that. Eunice said, what the fuck is a Tesla car? It's Elon Musk's company. It's named after Nikola Tesla, isn't it? The company.
He needs to get out of his bedroom, that lad, doesn't he?
He does, doesn't he? He needs to get out of his bedroom, yeah. His sheets are probably like cardboard now anyway. But yeah, it's an electric car and it can be driverless apparently, these Teslas. But I mean, we're talking first one that were available for sale. It's not going to be one of them. But again, we've got our Prime Minister saying he got the first one and it expired. Unfortunately, it expired in the like a bit like me. But it expired, unfortunately, in the fast lane of the M4, and I nearly got one up the arse. That's what he ought to have said, isn't it?
I thought he was going to say, I was very, very drunk.
Yeah, I'm afraid I was very, very pompous and fucking stupid. I mean, that is, it reminds me of. There was a character in Viz. Someone in his amazing underpants, and it was just this kid. It was a cartoon, like obviously, and this kid with these underpants on that were really good, and he could do these things with his underpants, and obviously adult humour it were, but he reminds me of him for some reason. I don't know why. Every time I see him, I think of him and his tremendous underpants. You can imagine it, can't you? Be a new superhero, Boris and his tremendous underpants.
Yeah, but I mean,
you're buying a t-shirt, aren't you?
I would. I'd buy that t-shirt.
No, it weren't Johnny Four Pants. It were, I think, it were Felix and his amazing underpants. Because there's him with the
did they make a film of it?
Testicles.
Haven't they done a film? Haven't they done a film about somebody's underpants?
I think they were. Yeah, they were a film about underpants. Yeah. I don't know. It was a kids' film, obviously.
Yeah.
So, because I mean, you're doing an underpants film, you want kids in it, don't you? If you're in Hollywood.
Do you know what? One of the funniest things it doesn't even really sound funny, but I've never seen it before. When I first looked in Viz, obviously long time ago, and I thought, I wonder what it's all about. This or Sid the Sexist. Oh, that's quite funny, blah blah. But then I got to Black Bag, the faithful border bin liner. I was done. I couldn't stop laughing for about 10 minutes just because of the concept of Black Bag, the faithful border bin liner, solving crimes. That's brilliant.
Felix and his amazing underpants. That's the one that was in Viz. Not Captain Underpants, which I think was the film that you were referring to. We do get to some burning issues here on Raconteurs News. This is what it's all about. If you've come to this show to complain that we're anti-vaccine and we're not anti anything. We're just pro love and life and laughter. Laughter will do me, and love and life. Actually, I need that, don't I? We were reset. You know what they're talking about? Say that again.
I could definitely do with some laugh.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you're in the right place then, aren't you? Look at this. What I got. The reset. It's everywhere. Look at this. Wilkinson sword, Fraser's, and it says on the top.
Skin reset.
There you go. So you can even reset your skin. I wish you could reset all other organs in your body, not just your skin. It's the biggest organ in your body, isn't it? Your skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Felix and his magic. Yeah, Boris is fucking crackers, man. Just so do you think he's been set up or what? I mean, it just seems unnatural for him to be doing this crap that he seems to just go from buffoonery to buffoonery.
It's like he's been set up for it. See, I look at it this way, Jason. You know, we've talked about the white hats and the black hats, right? If you, for argument's sake, if we put the black hats in charge, right? They're the ones that are pushing this agenda that is so satanic, so evil. It is straight out of the Nazis' playbook. You know, the health passports, the ones that told them what you were and what you weren't, and where you should be and where you shouldn't be. We've done it all before. So if we can't see that is evil, and it's been done before, and it's happening again, and people still can't see it, well, if it gets bad enough, what if then? So let's say Boris Johnson's the big bad baddie that's being set up, like Joe Biden is. If you look at America, it's primed for a savior. It's primed for a savior. The lowest ratings of a president and vice president ever in history. So you are looking at a prime candidate to come in and could deliver peace. But I think America is going to fall into absolute chaos. But it's how they make the peace, isn't it? It's how they make the order. They want the chaos. They believe that chaos comes from everything. They believe that this earth was void. It was chaos. And then out of chaos came order. Well, if you've got a plan and you want that plan to work, what you've got to do is, if you want to put your plan into place, so you've got the starting point and you've got the end point. If you go straight to the end point, everybody's going to look at you and go, what's going on there? So you meander up and down. You might even step back a few times. But you just like, round and round, nobody knows where we stop, blah, 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 and everybody else is distracted. And before long, we're where we're at. Yeah, you should just stay in your house. Just don't go out. Why don't you just do as you're told? And then we can have everything back to normal. So it's nothing really clever. It's just that people are kept ignorant. The education system does exactly what it said on the tin. It's not meant to help you, believe it or not. The information's meant to be not useful to you. That's why the internet kicked off so much, because stuff that you've been taught, you could go and find other people's versions of it. And you could go, well, that's definitely a load of rubbish. And you could actually go, my curriculum's right on this. But when you've got information from everywhere, and you've got a physicist who can say, well, 1 and 1 doesn't always equal 2, and then demonstrate it, well, that really fucks up a lot of things that we base our life on, if that's true. If 1 and 1 can equal 1, well, that means that there's other possibilities. But we can't ask those questions because we're taught 1 and 1 always equals 2.
Yeah, you can. We're a mathematical equation. You can prove that an elephant can hang off a cliff, only held up by a daisy.
Tail tied to a daisy, yeah.
Yeah.
And in maths, it can happen easily in maths, but we've got a dead elephant and no daisy if we try and repeat that experiment.
Well, they should do it, shouldn't they? But not use elephants, use politicians instead, and just like wrap the cock around some barbed wire. you know, give them a little bit, you know, say, look, we're not going to give you the daisy, we're not going to make you do the daisy thing with the, you know, and we're obviously not going to use elephants because they're fucking useful. And so we're going to use politicians, and they're going to be dangling from the cliff top with barbed wire attached to their penises to keep them up. What do you reckon? It's a good chance. Dave should impose that in his new world order, because David is starting his own new world order. So good evening to you, David, and you as well, Welsh Dave. We've got Dave and Welsh Dave, 2 Daves. Good God versus Satan. David, I don't know what that means.
Look at what Taylor's put.
It's greatly related to that baby incubator story, bitch, from the Gulf War. She might be. I think she were, when she supposed to be Kuwaiti. She was Kuwaiti, weren't she?
She was a Kuwaiti. She was
a diplomat's daughter, weren't she?
Yes, she was a diplomat's daughter. Where they just took the babies out the incubators, threw the babies on the floor and stole the incubators. You know, it's what you do when you invade countries, isn't it?
Yeah, you distract people. It's not uncommon, though, is it, for these people, these people that are in countries because of the diplomatic status. You understand what I mean? Because it was supposed to, they're useful because it's supposed to be this bloke who killed this MP. I don't know if you know this, you can correct me on this, but wasn't he a Somali diplomat's son, I think, that was over here, a member of their family?
Which one?
The guy that's been arrested for knifing that MP.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, they had his funeral yesterday, didn't they?
They did, and that's why all of this is now very interesting, because you've had a few attacks on MPs now, and you've got people. Those things. This is going to go to a court, right? That attack on that MP, the legislation from that court case, Jason, will be written so vague, it'll apply to you sending an email to your MP. Harassment. So that legislation that'll be passed on somebody murdering somebody will be so vague, it can be loosely applied to an email. This is how they write legislation. If you don't know words and how they write them, you haven't got how can you defend yourself against these people? Because you were taught to go and employ people who beg licenses off these people to actually represent you. Are they going to represent you fully? Not really.
I don't think they represent us at all, do they?
I think there's some good people still left in the judicial system. I think there's good solicitors. I think there's good barristers. I think there's good judges. But as we've been told, you know, we've been pulled to one side a few times, and one of the best bits of information we got was a solicitor said, "You know what your problem is?" And your echoes all go up and go on then, go on. You never talk to us. What do you mean? Well, you come into the courtroom and we start to ask questions about it, but you always say, "No, we're not going to talk to you. We're not talking to you." So we go into a courtroom and we'll just do our jobs. He said, "But, you know, I have to pay for my utility bills and I have to pay my council tax. If you don't come and speak to us, how can we ask questions that you could give us the answers to?" "What do you mean?" "Well, I could ask you a question and you would give me the answer." And I wouldn't. "Oh, really? I've never heard that one before." I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He said, "Well, you get that into a court and I can't answer it. I have to stay true. So I'll have to tell you, well, yes, that's correct. But you never speak to me about that. You stand there and you come through with what your agenda is. So you don't want to share anything. You don't want to tell us. So we have to be totally defensive and we'll just fall under the judge's shadow all the time. But there are good people that want to help, but there's no way I'll put my pension and my house on the line for somebody who's going to come in and say, I have no contract with you. You know, that's just ridiculous. Stop coming in saying you've no contract. Come and talk to us. So that's what we started to do. But we were 10 years ago, 8 years ago, people who were going into courts, even the ones who were just learning like me, we were so far ahead of the people we were up against. You knew that there was people upon people going through books trying to find what we were talking about, because nobody, even the people in the system for 30 years didn't know it. They're paying council tax. They're paying for gas, water, and electric. This is an elite system that if you're part of the club, if you're face fixed, you do not pay for things in a debt-based economy. If you're paying for things, you're a debtor, meaning you're a galley slave on the citizenship. You're worthless. You're nothing to these people, and they are brought up, and that is bred into them. They've got a little bit better over the years because of the media and that, and they played up and they played the clown. So we get the actors now, and that's all we've got. And we've got really idiotic MPs that get roasted on television. Diane Abbott, how has she kept that job all this time? Because my cat knows more about politics than that woman does, and yet she's still getting paid. She's still talking shite and still getting paid. Is that her fault? I don't think it is. I think it's our fault.
It is our fault. It is our fault. Diane Abbott, I don't even know where's she MP for? Is it somewhere in London?
But she was the one who was having an affair with Jeremy Corbyn.
No, they're all shagging each other anyway, aren't they? I mean, look
but Jeremy Corbyn's going to save the country when he's got an idiot like that would have been alongside him in a cabinet. Come on. It's time people grew up and started to be humble enough to think that maybe the people that we've got our information off were lied to. And maybe those people are the best type of liars, the ones that think that they're telling the truth. If we can be humble enough to think we don't know everything, we could get somewhere. But, people think that they know everything and they don't want to accept new information. Maybe it's they can't accept it because, like I said, the education system seems to teach people what to think and not how.
Yeah, that's certainly true. I mean, they do say you get what you deserve, don't you? And I think that the House of Commons reflects upon the society that we live in, a society of who gives a fuck. Nobody knows all about politics, really. In the main, how much would you say people actually know about politics? Do they know at all?
Well, I think politics I think it's a lot like algebra. It's mental gymnastics for bollocks. If we're talking politics, we're talking bollocks. You are killing people by taking all this money off people unlawfully. Well, it's not illegal. No, it's not illegal because somebody's written it down and we've all agreed on it, or you've all agreed on it. That's the difference between us and Austria at the minute. They can't just enforce it like that here. It would be too much of a move. They would have to show the full hand that we're going under a complete dictatorship. But you can't even get people to, people go, yeah, it's terrible happening in Australia. It's coming here, nah, never happened here. Never happened here. We've spent all these decades voting for a different circus. They're the same. It's the same performers, just a different name. So
it's the same fucking performance most of the time.
Exactly. The performers are even shit in the circus. But the one thing I can say, because I know what voting is, it's insanity. It's not my circus and they're not my monkeys, mate. So somebody's got to grow up and what can we do? Well, that's a start. What can we do? Let's talk about what we can do. If we'd have all gone into court about council tax, you'd have stopped it by now. But
Yeah.
people don't. People won't. People won't even write letters. You know, I've tried it. I've done it myself, and you don't get anywhere, and you don't get any thanks. You know, people say, "What are you bothering for? Why don't you just get on with it?" I couldn't be bothered with all that. No, but you'll teach your kids to get into more debt.
I would just the point you were making earlier on about people needing to grow up. I had an example earlier on. I mean, people get offended by the most simple things. Now, I hardly got any bollocks until it got took down. When the other day, I posted on Facebook my status as being, I'm sick of rich black people telling me I'm racist and privileged.
Yeah, so
Right now, nobody complained about that until Facebook took it down. But today, right, there's this place where I used to live, and it's got the forum. It says it's on Facebook, but it's called This Place Forum.
yeah.
And it had got this advert. Someone were advertising the business. Advertising, I think it were a cafe or something. It must have been a cafe. It said today's special is gammon. It got a picture: gammon, chunky chips, pineapple, and an egg, right? And on the picture, it had got that, but it also got one of them little pots of peas, round peas as we call them, not mushy peas, round peas.
Garden peas.
Well, yeah, but we call them round peas because
You're from Yorkshire.
It was well, I mean, it's just me and Al. That's a thing. They call them round peas, but but it had got a pot of these round peas, so I put underneath because I was in one of them silly moods. You know, when you see something, you just want to, you just comment. I do anyway. I just comment something totally irrelevant or, totally benign.
Yeah.
So I put, you forgot the round peas. And so she put a question mark, and then I said, on your picture, it's clearly got all the ingredients that you listed, but you don't mention the round peas, so I'm just like putting them in. And then somebody else put a fucking comment saying, "Oh, you come on, these people come on and abuse people who are just trying to make a business, build a business. They're hardworking. They're doing this." I went, whoa, fucking hold on a minute. We're just pointing out round peas.
Hang on a minute. You ruined a man's business because of peas. Is that what you're telling me?
This is what I've got the thing. I'll screen share it. Let me find. I know. Actually, should I? I don't think I'm going to screen share it because the names are on there, and I don't want them to get fucking bollocks. Bollocks.
Yeah, don't bother.
But I will. I'll do a screenshot and I'll cut the things out and I'll show it you Friday if you're about. But yeah, it's fucking like. So I've put round peas and it's like, and somebody else had put another comment. Oh yes, what an idiot! Oh God, get off! That were it. Yes, you are so funny. Ha ha ha! My sides are splitting. Not, because that's up to date. We're down with the kids talk, innit? Not. What we're talking, fucking Wayne's World or something. But anyway, not. Blah, blah, blah. And what other shaped peas are there? So I put, well, fucking mushy. They're not round, are they? They're mushy. And so...
You've got Marifat. You've got Marifat peas that are in between.
Fucking peas.
You can turn Marifat peas into mushy peas.
Paises, you got to have a bit of mint sauce on your peas as well, aren't you?
Well, listen, John Lennon loved peas, mate. John Lennon always told people to give peas a chance.
Yeah, give peas a chance. If you don't like them, just give them a chance. Give him a chance, man. Jimmy Eggers put, "Go on, Jason, you are a bloody peaist." I am. That's it. My missus said the same thing, that I was peaist. The same thing. You see, this is where we go. This is where we've gone to, where we're expecting. I mean, somebody thinks that I'm trying to ruin a business. because I fucking mentioned that there's peas on the picture as well, and you didn't mention the peas. So I put that, and I fucking ruined his business. And like, yeah, I'm expecting like people to be outside my house throwing mushy peas at house, like, and all over the channel.
I hope they take a mess at tin, mate.
Yeah, fucking yeah. Someone hit me with some peas. Yeah, that shouldn't hurt. They didn't open fucking tin, did they?
Yeah, hey, Kernow was just put in the chat room. John Major was a big pea man. Loved his peas, John Major.
Oh, did it? You see, we love peas. We've just got this. This is probably why they've got a name, because we've just started eating lots of veg, and his favourite is peas. So, but we need to differentiate. You know, when you're going to have chips and pie chips and peas, you're thinking to yourself, what sort of peas? You have to don't you? You have to make a distinction. Otherwise, what if Danielle could walk in with me tea and give it to me, and I'd be disappointed because it was wrong type of peas.
Well,
marriage is gone.
Well, the thing is, mate, if you're gonna put round peas on chips, right, they're gonna roll off everywhere. There's just no point to it. It's like walking in with a load of peas and then they just roll off everywhere.
Anyway, we've been joined by our US correspondent. He's here. Good evening.
Yo, what's up?
You have tea?
No, the peas, man. What was that show called? The one that made fun of John Major with the peas?
Spitting Image. I
need to get that show watched, man.
I'm going to turn peas round to, I don't know.
I keep telling myself to watch it. I keep forgetting to do it. Freaking Spitting Image.
Look at this here. Look at this. What were we talking about the other day? Some people just don't pay attention or just don't listen to some shows. We were talking about how YouTube are getting rid of the dislike button. I've not got rid of it. If it's gone, I've not got rid of it. Okay, I will.
I didn't even know you could get rid of the dislike button.
I don't think you can. You could, but you obviously can now because it's not fucking there.
It is on mine, mate. I'm looking at Raconteurs News live now on YouTube. There's a like and a dislike. You've got 26 likes.
Chris Party. It's Chris Party. He's probably winding me up, trying to wind me, which is difficult with me. I'm difficult to wind up. All dislike buttons are disabled. So what's going on over in the US of America? I have peas.
Well, apparently, there was a big court case going on for apparently some guy who some 17-year-old kid who they accused of being racist or whatever killed a couple of black dudes and injured another one. And
there you go. There you go. There's exactly what's wrong. His name's Kyle Rittenhouse. The two blokes that he killed, the three people that he shot, were all white.
Okay, my bad.
No, it's not you, Taylor. It's not you. It's the fucking. You've got that from somewhere, haven't you?
From fucking. Saying that, Taylor.
Yeah. I've gotten that.
Media have slaughtered him over it.
Yeah, I've been hearing about that, and they keep on. But of course, the court case didn't end up panning through. He was found innocent
on every charge.
Yeah, they said.
What people forget, what people aren't privy to is there was a court case going on. I think it was Florida, where a black fella was cleared of all charges defending himself. But we're not talking about that because he's not a white supremacist like they wanted to make Rittenhouse to be. You know, when you've got the president stating that this man whose court case is ongoing, that he's a white supremacist, you're in a bit of a mess. I mean, that lad will be dead, and they won't have finished suing people.
Yeah, so they just throw around the white supremacist label. It's like, honestly, like does that term even have any real meaning? Honestly, white supremacist.
Yeah, he thinks that white people are supreme. Well, it's you see, it has, but it's it's been coined by people. There are white supremacists. We know that think that the white race, but they're just as bad as anybody that's on the extreme of anything. If you're on the extreme left is far more dangerous than fucking extreme right. Because look where we are now. We're in a situation where the extreme left pretty much rule everything. You can't talk about anything. You can't. Everything's racist. Everything's homophobic. I was thinking to myself the other day. You know, if I were a gay bloke, right, I'd be fucking getting myself out of that LGBT fucking Q nonsense. Because now it's fucking. It used to be just LGBT, right, which is fine. But then now we've got this fucking Q on end, and now a plus on end. But we all know what the first letter of fucking plus is, don't we?
Yeah.
And so now essentially it's LGBTQP.
Yeah.
Community.
P for pussy?
P for paedophile.
I'm about to say.
They would actually state that it was pansexual.
What the fuck is that? Oh.
Pansexual is that you have sex with anything and everything. So, you know.
Isn't that omnisexual?
No, that's you, that is. Only having it on your own.
Oh my god. But you know, I've always wondered, what even is these terms like left, right, up, down? Like do they even mean anything? Like I always hear those political phrases just thrown around, but to me they don't really mean anything. Like honestly, like extreme left, extreme right, freaking all this. Like I always hear these terms. What do they even mean? Honestly.
Well, from what I just said, I'd be labelled a right wing or maybe far right. I don't know. But see, it don't work really with me because some of my views you could say were far left, like me supported Palestine and things like that. I mean, far right fucking hate that. They've always got Israeli flags and things at these rallies. So it's completely to kilter, but it's a way of sticking you with a group of people that you don't want to fucking be with. But that's what LGBTQP fucking QPR. That's what it be, wasn't it? QP, all they need is an R then. And they've got Queen's Park Rangers on end. LGBTQPR, yeah, we'll call it that. Couldn't they? I bet QPR use that at some point. But it's a way to stick you with a group of people that you've got fuck all in common with, apart from perhaps one thing. So I could be far right on one. If I talk to somebody, one person, I'd be far right. Like when I used to talk to, when I had that guy on who, had Trump mask on and were dancing on the bus.
Tommy Robinson's mate.
Yeah. Well, when I had him on, he said I were a lefty. He said I were all right. Don't you remember?
Yeah.
He said we were all right for lefties, weren't we? So daft like that. You were on.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah.
Because I remember bursting out laughing and said, I've never been told that I'm left. But it's interesting what you said then.
Can I identify as
I was speaking with I speak with lesbians, gays, from all backgrounds I speak with, right? People who are personal, and they talk about the LGBTQ movement as if it's anathema to them. It seems like you've got a few elites that want to push this, and you've got celebrities that are all endorsing it. But then when I see me friends who are that, say, well, do you not agree with? No, they're idiots. They're nothing to do with me then. They don't represent me. So that's what I get from people who I know. So that's completely a different concept than what I get from the television and from the media, where everybody's doing this now. If I'd have come home from school and said, my dad spoke to me, and I was all fours in the living room ignoring him, and he spoke to me, and then eventually I said, sorry, I was identifying as a coffee table for that period, I don't know what my dad would have done to me, Jason. No, would that have been abuse? No, I'd have said if that had happened in my era, that would have been. We need to take Dave to the doctors. There's something not right with him. Doctor, he identifies as a coffee table. There's something that's been made okay over that period of time where everybody can get offended, and we've got to have this victim put up on a pedestal. Look at this victim, and it's from the more serious thing. So I know people who are having the front door battered down by a gang of people who want to get at them, and the police turn up and arrest the people who are in the house, not the people who were trying to do that. That's a crime. But if they'd rang up and said somebody's used somebody's used the wrong pronoun, you've got police turning up and trying to do things. I mean, what point do we get to, Jace? Is it to the point where mine and your pronouns was and were?
Fuck it, yeah, it will be when we're dead.
Exactly. That's what this world is going to. Is it one thing? No, it's a culmination of things. But I'll tell you what I have noticed from looking out through the empires, through history, the further away from God that society gets, the worse it gets, and then it collapses.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what we are led to believe has happened in the past throughout history. I mean, like we said, we don't know what fucking history is. We could be anything, really, couldn't it? From what do you actually believe? Bible? Do you believe Quran? You know, there's all this literature that really is just, again, it's all something that's come out of someone's head.
Criminality, follies, and lies. Somebody's written about criminality, follies, and lies, and we've all agreed upon it. That's all. But people can't be humble enough to think that could have happened, and that's ridiculous. That's the ridiculous part of it, that people in this day and age, and again, the most common things that we take as factual are wrong. But people can't admit that. People can't admit that they've been bamboozled.
Well, we're telling them, aren't we? If they're listening, if you are watching, and we understand that you're a little bit late to the party. Fucking hell, we've been all fucking sat here waiting to jump out and go, surprise!
Well, about 11 years.
Fucking God, fucking 20 nearly for me, for fuck's sake.
Can I identify as a pea-loving prime minister?
Yes, of course. A pea-loving prime minister. So you're John Major then?
That's exactly what I was referencing.
Norma.
Do you know, I can't remember that one.
Yeah, he was always in grey, wasn't he? His face was grey.
Yeah.
He was a grey fella. And they'd sit at the dining table and he'd just be like cutting one pea in half and eating it and taking his time. And would you like more peas, John? Oh, yes, please, Norma.
I'll have to look that up afterwards, because I used to love Spitting Image. Great cracking it on. I mean, I remember the one where they were at a restaurant, and there were a few other politicians, few were a cabinet with her, and the waiter comes over and she says, "I'll have the roast pheasant." And she says, "And the vegetables?" "Oh, they'll have the same as me."
I did want to ask, you mind if I make a request?
Yeah, what request away?
You think that maybe sometime we could, like, I don't know, like take, say, a mainstream or like some kind of like video from a mainstream channel on YouTube, and just like respond, and then just like go through the video and respond to it bit by bit, and then just explain to people why they're being bamboozled. Like, here, this is this guy that you have been like listening to, and I'm going to respond to each thing that he says that he claims to have is factual, and then just saying, "Oh no," and then proving that it's just a bunch of shit.
Yeah, we could do something like that, certainly. I did something like that. I don't know where it'll be actually, but I did something like that with a Richie Allen show when they were talking about social services in one of his shows, and I'd listened to it years and years ago, and I'd listened to it, and I did a full rebuttal of it. Like I played some bits. The only problem we might have is with copyright. That's the problem.
Because there is one channel in particular that I was thinking of, and that's you ever heard of Dr. Mike?
Dr. Mike rings a bell. Rings a bell.
It's probably one of the biggest. Here, I'll put a link in the private chat to him. Is one of the biggest, I would say, quote unquote, doctors on YouTube. He's made a video, quote unquote. He makes a bunch of videos claiming to have debunked Judy Mikovits and supporting the whole COVID narrative, and of course you know, you get like thousands of people in the comment section, like literally thousands, and they'll, you know, in support. And I just feel like it's like, hey, so you got this big guy. If we could just take what he says and then just debunk it, because that's what he's doing. He's trying to do it to Judy Mikovits. So why don't we just do the same thing back to him? You know what I'm saying?
It's just a waste of fucking time. It's just a waste of time. But what you do is you present your information rather than telling somebody else why they're wrong. I can understand it. I get it, and I've done it myself. But it's just ends up being a waste of time. You might as well just do your own thing. And do you know what? I've never heard of this bloke, but he sounds to me like a fucking proper dick. So what you watching him for?
I'm not watching him. My little brother watches.
You are, obviously, aren't you? Because you've told us about
my little brother watches him. That's the thing.
Well, don't sit with your little brother then. Send your little brother over here.
What's your little brother's opinion then? Your little brother's opinion must be a bit skewed then if he's getting his information from that.
Well, he's in the National Guard, so, and he helps deliver the quote unquote vaccine stuff. So I think that says a lot about what he thinks.
So he's done basically then, Taylor.
Yeah, he's you know, I don't want to talk shit, but it's like
I know what you mean, mate.
I mean, my parents are the same. You know, they've all been double jabbed. So yeah, I mean, it's like, ugh. What can you do, right? What can you do?
Well, just some breaking news. It looks like it's breaking from tonight. You know the girl that was missing in Plymouth, Jace?
No.
Yeah, there was a girl called Bobby Ann McLeod. She's been missing. They found the body. So that's the 18-year-old woman reported missing from Saturday in Plymouth. She failed to meet up with friends. There's a body found today.
Right.
I tell you, mate, I'm never, apart from the 80s, I don't know if you have this type of thing as well, but maybe it's because I lived in the newsagents, but I saw headlines every day when I was going to and coming from school, obviously going in the shop. And it felt like every day there was a serial killer killing people. You know, it was Jack the Ripper, but there was other serial killers all over the world that just seemed to be very active, late 70s, 80s. I'm having the same type of feeling about what's going on now. The horrendous things are happening on a daily basis. Where, just recently, there was a married couple in the 30s, both murdered in the house where the two kids are, and it seems like it's row over parking spaces.
Fucking hell.
No, I must admit, I've been a bit upset about losing my parking space at a time, but going next door to murder people who took your parking space, that's a bit extreme.
I mean,
Yeah.
like honestly, what you say honestly sounds like just a boiling the frog version of what we've been fed for the mainstream for the last 20 or so years. With the whole every time you turn on the news, you see something about like a school shooting or like a terrorist attack or some nonsense like that. It's just like, boil the frog, get us used to the idea of the world always, people are always constantly killing each other, and then we'll just amp it up and put you in a constant state of fear. So you support whatever safety measures we have to implement.
There's also been that incident in America. I think it was in Wisconsin, with the car that ploughed into the Christmas parade and killed 5 people.
Haven't heard about that one.
Have you heard about that, Webby?
Yeah.
It's some guy. They're not. It's not terror related. They said, which is just a way of saying terrorism when it's fuck all to do with it.
I think I don't think they know what to say about some of these things, because I genuinely think that you're going to get more and more of these people who are going to do things like this. It's not necessarily that it's always going to be a setup, but even things that happen organically, they're not going to miss an opportunity, are they, to clamp down on it? So we've got to I think we've got to try and have an understanding that things are going to get worse.
Well, of course they are. But you think about it.
Yeah.
Just people get pushed and pushed and pushed to a point. Just think about that. We've all been through stuff during this last 2 years. Don't give a fuck who you are, right? You've been through some shit, and you've been in your mind, and you've dealt with it one way or another. But we've all had it, and I can virtually guarantee that everybody in chat room will have had some sort of effect this last 2 years. Now that we know why it's happening. Can you imagine being somebody that's happening to, and they don't know why it's happening? So more and more people are going to start snapping and doing stupid things, stupid things, or just snapping and doing stuff that's maybe not out of character. It's just that they had a pretty bad character anyway. So when they snap, that's the thing they do. So I think we're going to see, like you said, it's been coming on and going on and getting worse and getting worse. And there's every day there seems to be something new. I mean, there were 5 people. It's not to do with terrorism. They said it's just we're on bail for a domestic abuse thing. So there we go. Again, this domestic abuse. We don't know whether this domestic abuse has come about because he's a wife beating twat, or whether
well, it's with the defunding the police.
Sorry, say that again.
It's with the defunding of the police. The district attorney is not prosecuting shoplifters, not prosecuting domestic violence. They're all being released. So it doesn't matter what they do. There was a clip I played earlier where organised on Facebook, they just pulled up outside this Louis Vuitton shop. A dozen of them ran in and just ripped things off the shelves, just ran out, took them away. The police didn't bother chasing them. They're not interested. There's no police to do it. So shoplifting now, if you get arrested, you don't get charged and go to jail. You get released on bail, without bail. You just get released. That's the policy, because, I can't explain it why. Because it doesn't make sense.
Unless you're white, because then you get labeled a white supremacist, and they can put you on the news and then put you in a courtroom and make you look like shit. But if you're black, oh no, you're going free.
Oh, come on! I mean, that fucking hell, Uni. I don't know where you're going, you. I don't know whether we're going to fucking wake up one morning. There's going to be a multiple shooting, and it be him.
I mean, oh, and by the way, Jason, what you said before, we've all been through it. Well, I guess, yeah. I mean, Nancy Pelosi too, with her whole like, I have had to survive off this ice cream. Remember that?
No.
There was a video she uploaded like last year, I was on the news, and she was basically saying, "Oh, I'm we're all in this together." That rhetoric, and basically saying, I've had to survive, and go through all this crap, and it's like, and she shows but then in the background you see like hundreds of thousands of dollars of ice cream, of refrigerators and shit like that. It's like, yeah, you're going through so much shit, aren't you, bitch?
It's there to be rubbed in your face, though, man. That's what it's designed to do, so that you will react like that. Then you'll be angrier. You'll be more and more angry, and the more angry you get, the more you'll engage with other people. And the more angry they get, they're going to engage, and they're going to be dug into their position. You're going to be dug into your position. And look at all this energy that's being created. It's both sides. It's negative energy. And you're butting heads, and you're sharing, you're arguing. They're fucking feeding off that. They're feeding off that, and you're not a problem to them anymore. You're not a problem at all.
Definition of a Mexican standoff.
but this is it, isn't it? If so, I was watching last night. It popped up. It was late last night before I was going to bed. Having my last joint, and I watched the thing popped up. And it was Jordan Peterson. And they were having I've listened to a few of his, what he says and stuff. And then I thought this whole thing, the alternative media and people with differing views, when someone asked him about climate change and what he came out with, it made sense. Everything he came out with about climate change, we can't do anything about it anyway. Why don't we increase wages? Because people who earn $5,000 a month and above, they generally tend to care more about environment and prepared to do stuff, recycling and that sort of thing. And it went through this fucking reasons why climate change would never, it's never going to be solved. So why fucking bother type thing.
I think that the definition of arrogance is thinking that you have the ability to save the earth from its own natural problems.
Well, yeah, of course we can't, can we? But anyway, I came to the conclusion after I'd listened to him for a while, and I thought to myself, this is doing is either reinforcing what I think or it's making me fucking angry. And and if somebody's in chat in the this is like comment sections. People have comment sections. Someone will comment, and people spend fucking days and days going back and forth from a comment section to have a row with somebody, and then eventually it all gets fucking deleted anyway. It's just.
I mean, what's better, that or watching Love Island all day?
Well, do you know what I'm thinking? Watching Love Island is probably only thing that is honest with me, because I know it's fucking bollocks. Everyone who watches it knows it's bollocks, but at least it's honest bollocks. And no, I don't want to watch fucking Love Island, for fuck's sake. Of course not. But all I'm saying is that some semblance of what people call normality. That's where you've got to go. You can't spend your life fucking. It's fucking ruining your life. You spend your life thinking about it, and you spend your life fucking rowing online and doing pointless things that someone will say it's imprinted, it's there forever. Well, it probably is if it's useful to anybody. Somebody who in law enforcement or something like that. Yeah, but if you wanted to go back, you'll never be able to find it. It fucking won't exist. So it's just all fucking for note. And then, you pop along and someone comes and fucking, something happens to you. Look at AD. It makes your priorities. You need to just get your fucking priorities in order. I do a bit of looking on Facebook. I do. I don't get drawn into it apart from if it's about peas. And that's just me. I just like to fucking. I just like to get something that's just don't make any sense. Why would you put? I mean, why would you put about peas? You didn't put peas in. You didn't mention peas. You didn't mention it. Everyone gets fucking so wound up about silly bollocks. Fucking hell, LG, fucking BTQ and all that. They go fucking mad, mental. No, it's not them. It's not lesbians or gays or bisexuals or transsexuals or queers, whatever fucking hell that is. I mean, is that not covered in first four? I don't know.
You know, honestly, that is a lot like in the 60s when you had the civil rights movements where you had a lot of black people who would say, no, Martin Luther King does not represent me. It's like, you know, they build up all this nonsense about blacks, you know, being oppressed by the white man. And it's like all of that is just nothing more than just a small hats idea that's been freaking ravaged down society's throat a couple centuries now. You know, it's just another divide and conquer strategy. That's really all it is.
Yeah. Fucking hell. 20 minutes left, boys. What else we're going to bring up? What we're going to talk about now? These people are waiting for us to talk about something good. Something good. Get something good.
Something good.
Uni. Let's have Uni. You have floor for a minute and ask something, or say something, or do something, or make a statement about something. Just like, you know, just keep it a bit not as anti-Semitic as it normally is.
Probably the most.
I mean, last week you were a total fail, mate. Honestly, you failed completely miserably with the old.
Sorry, I'm probably the most. I mean, aside from maybe Dennis Wise, I'm probably going to be the most anti-Semitic person you'll ever meet.
Okay, Dennis Wise, the footballer.
No. Anyway, I don't even know who that is. No, Dennis Wise, the guy who made The Greatest Story Never Told and Communism by the Back Door.
Yeah. Annette Roberts, anyway, in chat room, has asked. She asked this earlier on, I think. Good evening, anyway, Annette. I don't think name don't ring a bell. So nice to see you. If you're new, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button and all that shit. And Wolf Clan Media as well. Good evening, Wolf Clan Media.
He said talk about anime for 20 minutes.
I'll tell you what, no, somebody, Annette asked, what do you think it's going to be like in 10 years' time? So that's 2031. We're sat here in November, looking forward to Christmas 2032. What are we talking about? What's it going to look like? Are we still going to be here, or will it just be our AIs?
I personally think the 2030 agenda is something that we should keep in mind. You know, how they want the world to be like in 2030. That's kind of their plan.
Well, I'm seeing questions being asked now, not in 10 years' time, but I'm seeing questions asked now where they're showing the app on the phone saying, can anybody explain why my COVID healthcare passport runs out in December 2021 when I'm triple jabbed? So they're asking the triple jab. Some of these people have now got 3 shots, well, that passport's going to run out. You've got Nicola Sturgeon now who wants to tell everybody in Scotland, when you go out, do a test. If you're going out the house, do a test, Jace. What's happened to my Scottish brothers and sisters if they're going to do this? I don't know what's happened to people. The common sense has gone out of this. In 10 years' time, if they get what they want, we're not going to be here. A lot of people are not going to be here in 10 years' time. I can't see it get. I can only see it getting worse in 10 years' time. I mean, look at the films we've been pushed over the last 30, 40 years, from Running Man to Demolition Man to Hunger Games to all this kind of dystopian world stuff where we're pitted against each other. Mad Max, I'm waiting for Mad Max for it to collapse into the Mad Max era now in Australia.
Terminator?
I might watch Mad Max to just see if it's, if we're up to date with it.
Isn't Arnold Schwarzenegger in a lot of those films that you just mentioned?
He's in the 1 or 2, yeah.
I'll see what sorry, I just wanted to make a point on what Webby was saying then. You know how we see, how we're sat and we're looking at social media, right, and we're thinking that how we don't know how people are taking it. Well, perhaps they're not, but you see, we're presented with a reality. If you go on social media, you're presented with the reality based upon what your past activities have been and what you've been liked and what you've commented on and how you've commented. It's all in there. So you're presented with the reality. It's a demoralizing reality. It's there to demoralize you. And that's what it's designed to do. That's why we're all on there. So that they can then, their algorithms can now make your mood bad because they see how much time you spend on there. And if you're all looking through and you're thinking, we're not making any fucking progress whatsoever, we're not making any progress at all. And then, you'll see, if you look for it, you'll see like marches going on in different places around the world. But you're not presented with them. You might see one like that photo that you posted. I could see that were Photoshop because the people were going up a building. The people had been added in and they were going up a building outside. So I knew it was Photoshopped, but then you see, then it gives you the impression that there's nobody on streets. Because that photo's fake, there's nobody on streets. Whereas in reality, there were people on streets. There were people on streets in London. Loads and loads of people, and we're never going to get official figures, are we? Because they're not going to tell us. It's not going to be reported on. So people that are awake, there's many people that are awake and that are prepared to do something and will do something when the time comes, because it's obviously not yet. When the time comes, people will do something. But you see, at the moment, you're presented as though it makes you feel like you're on your own. Do you understand what I mean? So you're presented with that reality. If your reality is Facebook, then that's, and you've been reading Facebook, then they know how to demoralize you. And that's how it's in the fucking thing, isn't it? It's in the book, the rule book, to how to take over a nation. You demoralize the population. And now they can do that on an individual basis. So you can have demoralization tailored to you. You can have it, I have peas to you. Right?
Taylor.
It's designed to.
Just read the protocols of Zion. That's all you got to do.
Don't think that there's nothing fucking going on, because there fucking is. But you're being shown a reality that they want you to fucking see.
Jace, let's go back. Let's go back again in time to see where we are now. Have a look at that. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, so I'll read the first line. In future, we will eliminate the soul with medicine under the pretext of a healthy point of view. There will be a vaccine by which the human body will be treated as soon as possible directly at birth, so that the human being cannot develop the thought of the existence of soul and spirit. And that's Rudolf Steiner, 1861 to 1925. So if you wanted to read it further, 2 materialistic doctors will be entrusted the task of removing the soul of humanity. As today, people vaccinated against this disease or that disease, so in the future children will be vaccinated with a substance that can be produced precisely in such a way that people, thanks to this vaccination, will be immune to being subjected to the madness of spiritual life. They're going to cut you off. They're going to cut you off from God. This is over 100 years ago. It's nothing new. But hey, let's go outside and bang some pots and pans for all our heroes who are useless now. Just get rid of them. They were heroes last year.
Are they still doing that over there, the pots and pans thing? Because
No, we're kicking them out now. The ones that we used to bang pots and pans for to support, they're now sacking them all because some of them won't get vaccinated.
Oh, wow.
So they're no longer our heroes, but this is the passing fad. This is the the consciousness level of the general public. They'll think it's disgusting if you ask them individually, but there's nobody's doing anything. They've got everybody divided, distracted. They've got everything they want in place. We've just got to watch how it plays out. There's people doing stuff everywhere, but we won't know until something gets spilled, till we see a little bit. But all I can see at the minute is that everything just seems to be getting worse on a daily basis. There's something horrendous happening every day. And I can see with the lockdowns, with mental health issues of people, it's putting society under so much pressure. And then they're saying that you're all just basically here from happenstance. You've come from a big bang through bacterial sludge, and here you are. You're nothing, mate. You're absolutely nothing, and we're going to use vaccines to make sure you feel better. And if they start feeling really bad, let's put lithium in the water supply. They'll feel better then. So this is the future. How, again, we're going back to that 10 years. In 2 years, they've done this. 100 years ago, they were talking about it, and they put it all in place in 2 years. It's scary. It's scary.
Webby, and another thing that, along with that quote that you put, another thing that people should read for to see, like, at that time era of what the elite were planning. Read the Protocols of Zion. It's a absolutely perfect book. It describes exactly what the elite have wanted and what they've been planning for the last 100+ years. It's all right there. Everything that's happening, it's all right there.
It is all right there. I have peace. It is. But listen, you might think you're on your own. You're not. You might think nothing's happening. It fucking will, and it won't. It'll just come out of nowhere, like it did in Romania. They said, anybody that remembers that, they said it came out of nowhere. The Berlin Wall coming down, it came out of nowhere. Nobody were expecting it.
Ceausescu,
even on the afternoon of it happening, nobody were expecting it.
Ceausescu in Romania, he was swinging from a lamppost, and nobody saw that coming. It just happened.
Yeah, just happened.
Oh, Romania. Oh, boy.
and you know what? Once it starts happening in Europe, it's going to fucking domino right across Europe. And, if we're fucking lucky, we might avoid any bloodshed.
Yeah, if we're lucky.
No, but you see, we're isolated. It's gonna start in Europe before it starts here. Don't forget, you've got these Eastern Europeans that remember the tyranny and the fucking, that are old enough to remember what it was like under Ceausescu and what it was like in.
Ceausescu was the communist leader of Romania, I believe.
Yes, yeah. Yeah. So the whole family were executed.
They were.
This was only 1990, Taylor. If you read about what happened, the whole family were. The revolution happened in an afternoon. And it won't be. People say it won't be televised. It fucking will be, because whenever there's a revolution, who's going to win? You're not going to get people turning on guns on people. Not British people. In fact, most European people aren't, because they'll have seen what has happened in there where they are, where they're from. They'll know what's happened there, because it'll happen in Europe first. It won't happen here first.
Wait, oh, that's right. You guys got out of Europe, right? Like Brexit went through.
Sorry, say that again.
Did Brexit actually go through? You guys got out. You guys aren't.
Yeah, we're out now. Yeah. We're
out. Oh, nice, very nice. I'm actually surprised you got out. I honestly didn't think it would go anywhere, to be honest.
Yeah, we might as well still be in, but
to be fair, it doesn't make any difference. The EU laws still apply here. They still apply. Driving licenses, all that kind of caper. There's so much that they've still got to change. And the fact is that our highest court in the land is still Europe. We just don't have a European court in this country, because our justice system thought they were that clever that they would always be able to throw us back into the system or beat us, or we'd give up. And it's when you get right to the end, you realise they have nothing other than, well, you'll have to go to Europe. Well, they could put us into Europe, but they won't. They won't help us. They could have put us to High Court from the tribunal, but they won't. we have to do everything, and this stops people. But the system's designed like that. In Europe, Europe can do this and enforce it because it's all legal. That's the weird, strange thing about this stuff.
You know, they tried to do that in America a while back as well with the North American Union. I'm not sure if you ever heard about that.
Yes.
They tried to make basically the continental states into another Europe with Mexico and Canada and the U.S. But people like Ron Paul have been against it, and that's kept that from going through.
I've got a picture here for uni, Jace.
It's not you in a fishnet stocking. Body stocking, is it?
No. Can you read that, Taylor?
I could read the words "Hitler wants us to believe that," and then Americans will not be fooled. But the text below the word "that" is too small. I can't read.
Right. This right is American propaganda during the war.
Looks like it to me. I mean, look at that picture of Hitler. It's
No.
like
No. Listen. It's his.
They don't listen.
It's American propaganda, what they put out during the war. And these are the points that they said. Hitler wants the Americans to believe that democracy is dying, our armed forces are weak, the new order is inevitable, Jews cause everybody's troubles everywhere, we are lost in the Pacific, our west coast is in such grave danger there is no point in fighting on, the British are decadent and sold us a bill of goods, some sort of peace can be made with Germany, the cost of war will bankrupt the nations. This is all to try and get America involved in the war. This is the build-up. Stalin is getting too strong and Bolshevism will sweep over Europe. That's what's happening.
exactly.
This is what the Americans were being pumped full of. So they were all being pumped up for this, and then all of a sudden Pearl Harbor happens. You had people wanting to go to war because
if you don't mind me, Webby, let me add on to that. There was a movie released, I believe, just a month or two before Pearl Harbor with Gary Cooper where he won an Oscar for it. Was basically meant to be a recruitment film, essentially telling America. I think it was like he was he was it was a World War I film where where somebody who was afraid to go to war was drafted. He went to war and became a hero or something like that. I didn't watch the movie myself, and this was released just a couple months before Pearl Harbor. And so I'm pretty sure that this is yet another Hollywood trick of basically saying, it's like you said, prepping us for war. They did the same thing in early 1939. The Four Feathers, an English film they released to get Europe prepared for World War II. I'm not sure if you know what I'm talking about, Webby and Jason.
Talking about a film, aren't you?
A
recruitment film, a propaganda film.
Well, it's not technically called a recruitment film because it was made before the war started, but it's one of those things where Hollywood's trying to basically get the public ready for a big event. Like how in 2001 they released the movie Pearl Harbor. It was released in between the PNAC calling for America, calling for a new Pearl Harbor, and then 9/11.
Yeah, right. It's to stir people up like they do wanting to. I know after 9/11, Jace, we've had conversations where people were like, 18, 20-year-old men and women were joining the army to go and fight because of 9/11. And then when they've realised, when they've come out of that war, some of these people realise that they've been duped into a war. And they're the ones that were coming and speaking out. So I think there's going to be a lot more to come by Friday, Jace. I don't know if I'll be around Friday, but if I am, that I think in 3 days that we're going to see a lot more happen.
Yeah, we probably will. We always on a Friday. Remember that Kyle Rittenhouse thing was on a Friday. It's my favourite thing. Always on a Friday, apart from It's Time to Grow Up. I think that's my favourite thing. If people can grow up, then we might have a chance.
Yeah. Banks and solicitors always deal on a Friday. Solicitors will wait until 5 o'clock to put their post in, and then everybody gets it on the Saturday morning when they have to stew over that solicitor's letter all weekend. They do it on purpose to ruin people's weekends.
If you don't mind me asking, Webby, was the Federal Reserve signed in on a Friday or just before a weekend? I know it was on. I know it was around Christmas. I think it was on Christmas, on 1913.
Webby, can you remember? Was it a Friday?
Well, if I had a bit more time, I could actually just bring my calendar up and scroll through back to 1913 and tell you the exact day. But
also, thank you, Jeffrey K. Cleverman. He says, I like Uni on here. Gives topics of discussion. Nobody else goes. Keep him my regular Jason. Thank you, man. I appreciate
you fucking making that up. Nobody's written that.
No, read the chat. Read the chat.
I can't see that, and I can't. I've got a sore finger, so I can't scroll.
Well, I'm scrolling and I can't see it either, mate.
Here. I'll copy paste it into the private chat. It's by Jeffrey.
You could just type that.
I'm not typing.
I'm telling you, it's not there, is it?
I can't see it.
Yo, Jeffrey, if you're still there, back me up, man. Back me up.
No, I think that's it. I think that's a one show ban.
No, I'm not making it up. Dot says that was Uni's alt account. If I was not lazy, I could probably make a bunch of alt accounts and be like, let me just thumbs up my own videos.
Jeffrey? Who's Jeffrey? What's this Jeffrey thing? Anyway, I think that's
Is
it.
Jeffrey Bubbles Bomb Bomb?
You what, sorry?
Is it Jeffrey Bubbles Bomb Bomb?
Jeffrey Bubbles Bomb Bomb, who's that?
Oh, it used to be out of a 70s sitcom. Jeffrey Bubbles.
Actually, here, let me share my screen. Maybe then you'll believe me.
Oh no, what's he going to share here?
I'm not going to share porn. I don't know.
What? Wait, who mentioned porn?
That's the thing that everyone will always go to. It's like you're going to mention.
Yeah, I can't read that.
Wow.
See
That's
right here.
that.
Right here.
It's freaky, isn't it? That. Ooh.
See, I know it does look weird, but see, look where I've highlighted right here.
Oh,
I can't see that, can I? I can't see that.
How do I zoom in? How do I zoom in?
Taylor, do you understand the concept of sarcasm?
A bit. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now I can. There. Now can you see it?
No.
Can't see it.
God damn it! Wait, are you being sarcastic? Or are you actually serious?
No, I'm serious. I can't see it.
Then.
Okay. Here.
It's not that.
I like Uni on here. Gives topics of discussion nobody else goes. Keep him a regular, Jason. Yeah, he goes where people don't go.
Yeah, there's a reason why people don't go there.
That sounds so wrong.
Jesus Christ. All right then. Well, all right. Well, we might have him back there. You weren't lying. Okay, we'll rescind that red card that you had.
Yeah, buddy.
It's been rescinded. So listen, any else to say, anybody? If you got to go out, you can go home. We can stop or whatever. Continue. It's up to you.
I'm not. I'm okay, mate. It's up to you. It's your show. Are you tired or are you okay to carry on a bit?
I'm all right for a bit. If if we got shit to talk about and that, I don't think Doug's. He went out just before I came up, so I'm sure he can hold himself for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'm happy to stay on. Just looking through a few things that are going on now. It's they seem to still keep pushing the case rates. How many cases we've had. That's gonna fall down very soon. That they can't keep going on with the cases because people just aren't. It's just not happening, is it? They're not dying like the rates they said they were. So I can see it locally where people have stopped wearing masks. People are not socially distancing. They've either fell back into complacency or they just think, we can't live like this. I'm hoping it's the latter, but you just don't know, do you? I don't trust people.
Yeah. I don't either. Yeah, it's the fucking. Sorry, I'm writing some. I'm writing a comment in the comments section. That fucking raccoon keeps staring at me. Do you want him out that way? I tried to get his mic. Tried to get me so he's got his mic like in front of him, but there's just no mic to go and it won't go up that high. So
that raccoon. Yeah, raccoons are adorable though. I love feeding them little cheese balls and they eat them out of their hands, and then it looks so adorable the way they eat.
Did you say cheese off your balls?
No, little cheese cheese puff balls. Like cheese puffs or Cheetos. Like it's like that.
Yeah, we call them what's-its.
We do have Cheetos. Come on, give him a break. We do have Cheetos.
Do we have Cheetos? I've never heard of Cheetos, me, not in British.
Yeah, no, we have Cheetos. They're full of monosodium glutamate because it's really tasty cheese.
I don't know what that is. I'm guessing bad.
MSG, yeah, monosodium glutamate. It's a chemical that hypnotizes you to taste flavor more than what the flavor actually is, if you know what I mean.
So basically it tricks your mind and your tongue into tasting something that actually isn't as strong as it is, or something that's not even there to begin with.
Yeah, it gives it a really strong sense of flavoring.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've seen those kind of things before. Yeah, that's disgusting. Or they have like water. You know how they have like food coloring water or whatever that tricks you into thinking that it tastes like something else or whatever, like grape or something.
What the fuck are you on about, man?
Like those weird waters that they sell at like Safeway and Walmart and stuff like that.
Safeways went out of business over here, man.
They did? Damn! Damn! I didn't even know that. Oh man!
So are you making it up then? Because Safeways went out a bit. Oh, Tesco's bought one here. Who were it? Who bought them? Were it Morrison's?
Iceland bought some. My dad's depot, because my dad drove for Safeway. My dad's depot at Warrington's now Iceland.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I think Morrison's bought it, but they had to sell so many stores because otherwise they would have had too many stores. That were part of the deal. Government would have had them like a monopoly. So they had to sell certain, because the one that used to be Safeways where I used to live is now a Tesco's.
Well, you're allowed to have monopolies now in the U.S. Ever since Clinton passed that bill back in the 90s, and so yeah, we have Safeway, we have got Walmart, we got Costco, we've got freaking and just a couple others, like of course McDonald's. You always see that the same stuff over and over. It's just like Amazon. It's like they just want to make everything into a big monopoly. Shut down the middleman. You have to go to the big store to get everything.
You were just talking about Safeways and Waitrose or whatever, fucking Walmart and all that sort of bollocks, right? But you had to get like this little bitchy comment in. You know when you started, you said something about since Bill Clinton passed that act, I don't fucking know, 1992. You can have a monopoly act. You were like you got like a bitchy remark in when you were making your point. That's all. I was just saying. You were going, no. And that's Sarah. Oh my God, with her hair or extensions, by the way, that don't hear, and she paid for by her sugar daddy. But yes, he hates me.
That's a little bit too good, that, Jason.
Are you trying to sound like the stereotypical high school girl in movies where they like, oh my God, like my shoe, like my nail got broken?
Yeah, I think you might have just turned him on,
No, God, no. I hate that. I hate that stereotype. It's just like the generic bully stereotype you always see in movies. The ones. I'm not even going to say anything.
Oh, Chip fuck me up the ass in the handicapped bathroom
What is this, Pornhub now?
with his little dick. Yeah, that sort of thing. That's what you sounded like, Uni. Sorry, but we're not used to Americans around these parts.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the immigration policy doesn't really curtail to Americans immigrating to other countries. It's just the Middle Eastern ones emigrating.
But if you want to know what it's like where we live, where me and Webby live, like we live quite far apart, but if you want to know what it's like, if you watch An American Werewolf in London, and you'll see a pub that they go into, that's what it's like around here.
The slaughtered lamb.
The slaughtered lamb, yeah. It's exactly like that. So, have you ever seen American Werewolf in London?
No, never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
What?
Oh my God, you have got to watch that, man.
I've never been a big movie person at all.
No, we're talking about films now. You've not been a big moving person.
No, I said movie. Oh wait, I get what you're saying. Oh my God.
So you got the sarcasm then, you got it.
God damn it! Oh no.
Because I'm not really a big moving person. I'm more of a stable situation. You know, I like to be here and rooted in the same spot all the time with food passed to me so I can throw it all over my face and have Cheetos coming out of my ears and I look like President Trump with the orangeness of it. Fuck.
So I guess for Biden it would be Doritos, specifically the Cool Ranch kind.
The what, sorry?
Doritos.
Doritos, yeah, we have Doritos, yeah.
Yeah, can that be for Biden? He has like the Dorito crumbs all over his all over his stomach because he's too senile that he doesn't even know how to wipe himself off.
Are you getting into this, Webby?
Something about Joe Biden wiping himself off.
Oh, right. Wanking himself off. What's he doing wanking himself off? And how did you see
He said wiping himself off.
Oh, right. I thought you said fucking wiping himself off. What's he doing wanking himself off?
I don't even think he can wake himself off anymore. He's so damn senile.
Talking about, you don't even know what a wank is, man. All you do is fucking beat it.
It's strange that over there because I always remember a comedy show called Married with Children, and Peggy, who was married to Al Bundy, her maiden name was Peggy Wanker. What does it mean over there then?
What does wanker mean over there, please?
Wanker, basically, that's not really a word that we use over here. I think it's more of an English word. Usually, we just call each other faggot or retarded or something like that. or if you want to be, a new generational, you use the word nigga over and over. You know, not IGGER, but IGGA. That's what you say. That's what all the young people say over here. Trust me.
What? They're all niggers.
No, it's NIGGA, which is supposed to be like my mate, my friend. That's what it's apparently supposed to mean, even though it sounds so stupid.
What iggers? Are you? Did you say iggers?
No, nigga.
Say it again. Come again.
Oh my God, you're just messing with me. God damn it. Are you trying to get me? Are you trying to get the police at my door for trying to sound racist?
I thought you said. I thought, right. This is what I thought in my head. Obviously, I thought that you'd said they call each other igger, as in they just took the N off, so that it weren't.
No. It's instead of NIGGER, it's NIGA. So take off the ER for an A. and no, Paula, they don't say that. And no, Paula, I mean, you don't just hear that in the hood.
So what do they do every time they call it each other? Do they spell it out afterwards?
No, because everyone just knows it by heart.
It sounds same. How can you differentiate?
Well, I guess it depends on. I guess the context.
Okay, all right, okay. Just answer me this question, right? You're walking towards. There's a group of you. Just imagine you've got friends for now, right? There's a group of you.
Oh my god.
No, listen. Walking towards somebody who's black, and you're talking to each other, and you're calling yourselves that. Do you stop it when you go past them?
No, it's not even
to
a
call
thing
each other, the N word. You'd continue to call each other the N word even while you're in earshot of somebody who's black, even though you're all
because
white.
it's so ingrained in American culture these days, to the point of where it doesn't matter what nationality you are or what your skin color is, and like they just say it to each other all the time. And and I'm talking about like even little kids and stuff like that. In fact, you know what? Let me get a video. Let me get a video real quick, and I'll give you a perfect example of this. I will give you a perfect example of this.
Oh, it's not racist, is it?
No, it's not racist. It's not racist. I want you to take a look at this and just so you can see what the average American youngster is like these days. And I'm talking people my age and younger. Like, here I put in the private chat because no Spanish.
Have you downloaded it from your white supremacist mate Kyle Rittenhouse?
What?
What do you want me to do with this? It's a YouTube link. I can't press it now because it'll come up and it'll fuck everything up.
Oh, you can't play it?
Of course I can't play it. No, I can't play it now. I've played it. It'd pop up in another window and make the fucking right load of row when it finally decided it was going to start.
Damn it. But yeah, it's let me just think of it again. Let me just put it like this. You know how you have the stereotypical ghetto kind of stereotype in movies and stuff like that from Detroit and Compton? Think of it like that.
Right?
But okay. What, say again?
Say that again. I didn't get what you said.
Okay, so you know the like ghetto stereotype with like Detroit and Compton and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Think of it like that, but nationwide, like everyone, like my age and younger is like that. Talking like Ebonics, kind of.
So everybody's straight out of Compton. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly, pretty much. Except that they don't have the balls. All they have is the mouth.
So you're saying people are walking around like the crazy motherfuckers named Ice Cube?
They don't know how to rap. All they do is just try to say shit like, "Yo, my niggas, what's up? We're gonna go catch the hood tonight," or something like that.
Okay.
I couldn't imagine Kyle Rittenhouse.
Or here's another example. That. It's like, nigga, when you fart, your whole family said your whole family
fucking hellfire. Jesus Christ! Last fucking week you were fucking anti-Semitic. This week he's just racist. How many times has he said it tonight? You know what I'm talking about.
He hasn't mentioned anything else though.
I know, but come on, yeah, because he's like thought, well, I must leave Hitler and the Jews alone. Let's just
isn't there any Americans in the chat that can back me up? Like, come on, so at least one in the chat that can back me up. Come on, like support what I'm saying.
Yeah, all right. What you're trying to say is you'll call each other that. You, not you, but like people in their social circles will call each other that name as a reference, like But right, so we don't need to mention it anymore. Let's talk about something else. So, something non-German, that could be interpreted as racist.
See, Faith Farah in the chat knows what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh, you do? I thought it was just an American thing.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't. But isn't it just like in all seriousness? Isn't that just sad, Webby? Like, isn't that just like really just like satanic? Honestly, like that's how.
Sorry, say it again.
I feel like that since that's how like young people are these days, doesn't it feel kind of satanic in a way?
It is, because they've been programmed into this. The music world. I mean, that Travis Scott concert has put a lot of highlights on things for me. 9-year-old kids are going to those concerts, and the parents are letting them. So they're either not taking part in what the kids are doing, or they're accepting of that culture. And I think, with the state that the US is in right now, Taylor, all you can say is that it's satanic throughout. I'm not saying that every man and woman is, but the system, the society that's being pushed. If you're self-sufficient, if you live off the grid, you're a domestic terrorist, and they want you to feel that, and they want you to start reporting on each other. It's harder with the likes of America, and it's harder with the likes of us. The Americans have still got guns, we haven't. We've still got a chance to stop it in courts if we flood it now. But we need people to do that. They've got everybody divided and separated on such of the smallest issues. We could be divided on the fact that it's American, it's culture in America for you to use that word. Yet you come over here and use it. It's frowned upon. So you can't.
Fucking frowned upon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come over here and just start bandying that word about. It's frowned upon.
It is. Am I lying?
But it's a little bit more than frowned upon, isn't it?
Well,
I
I was going to say the Marcus Rashford advertisement, where the kid goes up to that group of lads and goes wagwan, right? Oh, it's what do you mean you can't? You do it? And there's this bit of a debate, and Marcus Rashford comes in and says, "It's all right. Just ask. We can all get on if we just ask and we talk." Brilliant. Well, let's just forget about race. Let's just forget about it. We don't have to talk about it. We don't have to make it a thing. Cunt robs car, crashes. It doesn't have to be a description of a white man or a black man or anything. If we can get rid of all this descriptive stuff and then get rid of the accepting of the victim. I don't know any black people who have been suppressed personally, because if they were going to be suppressed, they would be fighting against it. It's taught to us. It's ridiculous. Am I saying something funny, mate?
No. When you just get giggles because you've thought of something in your head.
Or should I ask?
No, you shouldn't. No.
Oh, and about the guns, though, yeah, we do have guns, but they're funded and made by Israel. Hey, I just mentioned the word. I didn't mention anything else. I just said the word.
Stop doing it. You just stop it. Just somebody said. Don't get YouTube channel banned. Look, listen. I'm sure the people at YouTube are very decent and caring people, and they'll understand when they listen to the whole thing in context that they'll know that we're not promoting hate. Because they are good people at YouTube.
I do not promote violence. I will say that I do not promote violence.
Listen, you can say what you want. I think we've gone past that now, haven't we?
I think so.
If we were going to get banned, we were going to get banned. It would have happened by now.
I don't think people are getting pulled up. I think you mentioned it earlier, Jason, that if you've commented on something 10 years ago, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I seen that Jim Davidson thing with that Ashley, what's his name? When they were on, is it Britain's Got Talent or something like that?
Oh,
they did that dance routine.
Fucking banjo string
on that fella's neck. You know, and the dance routine, they knelt down on the neck to make a political statement. And people complained about it because they wanted to be entertained and not be politicised.
Not be
But he
fucking
came out and
preached to.
said that everybody who didn't like that were all racist.
That's the new term that people use. Instead of saying anti-Semitic, they either call you a conspiracy theorist or a racist.
Well,
fucking hell.
the US have gone off the scale with the racist stuff. They've just removed a rock from a university because the rock was racist.
What? What the
Yeah.
the fuck? You know, I'm not even surprised anymore. I'm not even surprised. It's like, you know what? Whatever.
And somebody put earlier on that we're going to have to do next show on Uni's channel.
Hey, I'm always for that. I have no complaints about that.
The thing is, though, I won't know where to go because I tried to find your channel and I could not fucking find it. Find it.
Just give me a spanner. I will put it in the chat. Just give me a spanner, Jason.
What do you mean, give you a spanner? I don't get what. You can have a spanner if you want. What do you want to? Have you got? You want to crack your nuts?
I won't abuse it. I won't abuse it. I promise.
You can have a spanner. I'll give you a spanner. I didn't even know you weren't spannered. Otherwise, I'd have spannered you by now.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, everyone in the chat who's been shouting it out for me. Yeah, finally get to have a spanner.
Does he tighten your nuts, Jason?
Is it what?
Does he tighten your nuts? Is that why you give him a spanner?
Well, he's going to tighten my nuts, isn't he? He'll tighten anybody's nuts. Well, he's got so much experience at nut tightening. That,
I think we're about 5 minutes away from turning this into Pornhub.
Taylor.
Yeah.
Taylor, the rock that was racist, it's the University of Wisconsin removed a 42-ton boulder from its Madison campus on Friday after complaints from students of color who called the rock a symbol of racism.
What? How can a rock be a symbol of racism? What the fuck? I don't even know anymore. That is just so stupid.
It is what it is.
Fucking, in future, there's probably going to be people in this country that are claiming that they need compensation from some fucker because they're a relative of fucking Terry Waite who were chained to a fucking radiator for 5 years. That's what will be happening in fucking 10 years' time.
Oh, Faith Ferris says that he's in Wisconsin. So, I guess he should know about this whole thing.
Oh, right. Wisconsin, about the thing with the thing.
Yeah, the rock. So apparently the rock symbolizes racism.
Oh, yeah, they are mad in Wisconsin. Isn't that where that shit happened with that car that mowed everyone down?
Yeah.
That were in Wisconsin, weren't they? Yeah, they are a bit mad there, aren't they?
Is Wisconsin like one of those states that has been opposing the mass lockdowns and vaccinations? Because if it is, then that would explain why they're targeting it.
No, they debunked the police, haven't they? There's nothing there. In that area, I think it was Minnesota. They gave up the police station to people last year. Was it? I can't remember when it was. Was it last year, Jason? They created another country within the police precinct. And in that area, the police wouldn't go in and they just squatted. There's all kinds of shit going on. And it was because the police haven't got any money. Because the mayor and everybody says they don't need the police. We'll just be nice to each other.
Honestly, I can, too, to a degree, I can honestly, say, I can understand that because let's be honest here, the police, most of the time, the police, they're just dogs for the establishment. They pretty much just do what they're told, and it's just even if they feel like that, oh, we're doing it for the better good, for the greater good, all they're doing is just serving the establishment's needs. It's no different than the military, really.
Yes. Yes. So they're all mad in Wisconsin, right? Which they're all mad in America, aren't they? Americans anyway. They're all mad. They're all fucking mad. It's I hate to think what's going to happen here. I really do. I really do hate to think what's going to happen here in the next 10 years, especially if this fucking twat and his fucking party of fucking dickheads, if they if they get another term, fucking 8 years of that. Imagine that. He's not going to last 8 years, is it?
Well, that's the point, isn't it, Jace? That he's not going to get another term. He's got. Is he another? Is it 2 years he's got left to run it into the ground completely?
Who, Biden?
Mm.
Yeah, it's 2 years, isn't it? 2 years about now.
And that's if he stays alive, or if he they can at least drug him up to.
No, it's only 1 year, isn't it? It's only 1 year. He's got 3 years left.
He drops out at the end of 2024, I believe.
Yeah, he's got 3 years left.
Because remember the 2020 election, so his presidency didn't technically start until 2021. So.
See, there you go. If that cunt fucking lives till 2024, then I'm going to live till about 120.
Well, it'll be the United States of Communist China, won't it? By then,
Hasn't it already been like that for God knows how many decades now?
Well, under Trump, Trump was trying. Apparently, China have got a port on the east coast of America. And that port, if you stand on that ground, you're stood in China. That's got the diplomatic immunity. It's China, and Trump was going to take that off him, or that's what it was being touted. Like I say, you're primed for a saviour over there, Taylor, because Biden's done that good a job. They'll accept anybody. They'd accept if Big Bird hadn't pushed those vaccines. They'd have accepted Big Bird as the next president. You've never had a yellow bird as a president. It'd be another first.
Or the next president of the United States. Colin.
Maybe I should be the first incel president.
You've had a debate in the chat room that Colin should be set on fire.
Why? What's he done?
Alan was calling him satanic. I didn't know Colin was satanic.
He's fucking not, is he? He's fucking Aries.
Wait, who's satanic?
He's Aries.
Fucking hell. I can't believe it, Colin. They're having a right fucking go at you tonight. What's all that about, eh? What's that all about? You haven't get enough fucking grief off a dog? Fucking hell.
Yeah. Does Watson leave him alone, or does Watson harass him?
Wait, Watson tries to harass fucking everything. So he's a thing. So you work it out.
Wait,
man syndrome, your Watson, isn't he?
Is what?
Proper small man syndrome, your Watson.
Oh, he's a fucking tosser, honestly. Fucking bit me up tit that one time. I think I showed it when I were on the tit show. I need to go and look back at some of these fucking shows because I've if you know, there's loads of fucking shows. It's about 6 years in January since we started. First it was me and Andy, then it was me and Webby, and then it was me and Nada, and then it was me. Now Webby comes along whenever he's on. So there's tons of shows to listen to. Whatever you like, we like a bit of Webby. plenty of Webby in there, and there's if you like.
They go quite far back, don't they? Andy managed to back quite a few up.
Yeah. I think I got right to the beginning. I've definitely got first show.
Don't forget 80.
Yeah, 80. Yeah, you can see we want to fancy a bit of 80. 80's in there as well. And he's got his own channel and all, 8 Hardy Free Speech, but I don't do out on it at the moment, as you could probably understand.
He's got some good documentaries on that channel. 80.
Yeah, he said a lot of them were getting deleted though. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, of course. I mean, it's just like with any quote unquote, conspiracy stuff. Like they always get to. And I actually saw some comments. I was looking at the comment section of some mainstream videos, and I saw some people defending the censorship, saying, "Oh, it's the equivalent of going into a stadium full of people and yelling the word fire or something like that." And that's why they're deleting that's why they should be deleting the
the conspiracy stuff. You know, that's the excuse they give.
So there again, it's like I got the auditorium and fire. What is like it though?
The act of going online and spreading quote unquote misinformation is the equivalent of going into a big stadium and yelling the word fire because you're, you know, promoting harm. Essentially, is the excuse.
That's absolutely ridiculous. When you're in a packed auditorium like that, that can cause instant death with panic. You're not going to do that over the internet.
Exactly.
So again, it's the legislation. The legislation is written vague enough where it could apply to the internet. That's how they do it. It's all smoke and mirrors. They're not clever, these people. It's the ignorance of the people.
I don't know. Somebody might drop dead listening to this show tonight, especially after uni earlier on. If they're a bit of a disposition, but it's no use me warning people now, is it? Because it's already happened. So you've either already heard it, or if you're hearing this in the past, you've already whatever.
I don't know when his mate Kyle Rittenhouse gets on, your numbers might boost in the white supremacy demographics.
Yeah.
You know, about that whole Kyle, whatever his last name is thing. Do you think that it's possible that whole thing was a setup from the start and that he's an agent and that this was just nothing more than a sideshow?
He's not Asian, he's American.
I said agent. Like a CIA agent.
I wouldn't put anything, Taylor, I wouldn't put anything past him. I mean, there's a part when I saw him trying to describe him to the jury when he's shot, and his crying didn't seem genuine. Then when he got the not guilty verdicts, it seemed genuine when he almost collapsed. The fact is, it's like I said, but it's they've tried to get the prosecution done to pass their legislation, but it's backfired on them. I mean, it backfires straight away when you put your chief witness on the stand and he says, yeah, he didn't shoot me till I pointed my gun at him. Well, it's obviously self-defense then. That's why the prosecutor then spent 20 minutes asking Kyle Rittenhouse, did he really travel over a county state line to work without a driving license? You drove there and back without a license? He's up for murder, but he's that devastated. He's talking about his driving license now. But there's a court case going on again in Florida where there's a black guy who's used self-defense and killed people. But we don't hear about that. That is the show trial. That's what we're watching. I don't know if you noticed, Jason, in that trial that I think it was MSNBC almost caused a mistrial. And it was because of the reporting in a live courtroom. And the judge was saying whether, it's my old nemesis, whether we should have reporters in court. Well, if that legislation goes to a court and it gets passed, that means it'll be like family courts. So now we've got, you've got evidence where you've got solicitors who are operating in family courts who are being told by the people who run the family court how they can get more leverage in divorce proceedings and things like this. So there's things going on behind closed doors with the ignorance of the people because we get solicitors to go and do this and they're told what to do and blah, blah, blah. So we just keep pretending we know what we're doing in a system that we've been taught how to lose in. And people will defend the fact that they're not being lied to. It's just life. That's life, that. It's weird.
Yeah, that MSNBC thing, they tried to follow the jury bus.
That's it.
The bus with the jury and Spanish chicken. Thanks for
Speaking of MSNBC, I fucking hate that bitch Rachel. I think that's her name. Rachel Maddow. Is that her name?
Fucking misogyny now, man.
I mean, don't. I hate the sound of her voice. The way she talks. She has this arrogant freaking tone of voice, and the things she says, just like, especially when she talks about quote unquote conspiracy theorists and all that shit. Like, Webby, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but she's had her time, Rachel Maddow. She's done. She's over with her.
Hopefully, because dear God, I mean, MSM is MSM. It doesn't matter who you get in there, but like, no, like anytime I hear that voice of hers, I'm just like, can someone please punch this bitch's teeth out?
Violence against women. Oh, you know.
Yeah, she's even a woman. You don't even know. It's like Jeffrey. Jimmy in the chat says Maddow is a dude.
What?
I don't know her.
I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. It's just that I don't trust anything I see on TV, even if it's by Tucker Carlson or anything like that. I don't trust any of these MSM freaking whores, as you put it, Jason, on the other show. Self-serving whores.
It's all information at the end of the day. It doesn't matter who's telling it to you. If you can discern the information yourself, don't worry about who's telling you, because if a liar's telling it to you and you can discern the information, you'll know he's a liar. So don't get bogged down with what somebody tells you. Don't listen to Alex Jones, he's a shill. Well, Alex Jones actually pointed this out. Yeah, but he's a shill. It doesn't matter. You don't have to follow him. You don't have to believe in him. You don't have to think he's going to save you. Take his information. You need good and bad, and you need information from everybody. Because if you miss out on even the smallest amount of information, it could be vital. And you will not have an understanding, and you'll be ranting thinking you're right about something, and somebody will just put not even an A4 piece of paper in front of you to blow you out your water. And you're still ranting and everybody's laughing at you. So it's don't make assumptions. You make yourself look silly. Just take the information. If you don't know what to do with it, put it to one side. Because I guarantee you somewhere down the line, how many times has it happened to you, Jace, where I don't know about that information, and then all of a sudden something so insignificant will trigger you joining that dot, and all of a sudden there's a picture that's formed and you can move forward with something.
That's right. It's what you decipher the shit out from the fucking good stuff. It's what your body does. It's your brain should do the same.
That's a good point.
But you have to learn that, though. Then you have to learn hard way. I have P's.
Yeah, and we've learned it the hard way. We've learned it the hard way because we've ranted and lost it and everything, and it's that anger. You know there's something wrong. People are telling you that you're the idiot, which makes you even angrier. And then people don't listen to you, so that makes you angry. And until you get through that anger phase without going into a bell tower with a semi-automatic, then you're stuck there.
Yes, and the one thing you really need is self-love. And I don't mean that thing that you do like 4 or 5 times a day.
Oh my God! I know Watson wants to do that, but he got small man syndrome, so he can't.
You've got to at least like yourself.
And Webby, that's a good point. You know, it doesn't matter who the information's from. You should take the you should always be able to discern it.
Yeah.
So have you guys ever seen? And I want to say this to everyone in the chat as well. Has anyone ever seen Michael Collins Piper?
You mentioned this before. What's his subject?
Lots of pretty much any big truth subject. He's dead now. He passed away in 2015, but he used to be a big dude in the alternative media movements. That's like he would talk a lot about like. One of his strongest subjects was on the stuff you don't want me to talk about, but also about 9/11, so school shootings, prophecies, stuff like that.
He's dead, is he?
Yeah, he passed away in 2015.
Well, there's no what use is it to us then?
I got a lot of good info that he spoke on radio.
I'm joking. Shows. Yes, you can go and do it. I'm joking with you. For fuck's sake, no. No, but you're saying read his stuff, aren't you? What's his name?
Michael Collins Piper.
Hey, we're close, weren't I? I got
Rowdy Roddy Piper, was it?
Yeah, he wrote the book Final Judgment. If you ever heard of that one.
He what? He what? He what? He what? The what?
He wrote the book Final Judgment.
Final Judgment. Have you read it?
I've read some of it. I have it downloaded on my PC. It's a really good book. It's mostly about the Kennedy assassination.
Okay. Well, I just want to apologise to you, Uni, for somewhat earlier on. I failed to intervene, and so that I needed to translate for you. When Webby said that Kyle Rittenhouse was found not guilty, what he meant was 9 guilty.
9 guilty. What does that mean? Oh, is it a joke? Is that a joke?
9!
Oh, I get it. The accent.
Yeah, it's your accent.
Jace, I've got
Yeah.
some more breaking news that I can't confirm. Maybe you might be able to. But there's news about John Fleck. He plays for Sheffield United, I think.
Oh yeah.
It says John Fleck down on the ground fitting.
Oh right, fucking hell! Is he playing tonight?
I've no idea, mate. It's just on the news feed. There's no other information. I have asked if there's any further information, but
Who you've asked? Fucking Reuters.
my sources, mate.
Oh fucking hell! Don't want to get. What's your favourite sauce, by the way?
Oh, it depends, you know. It depends on what I'm having. It could be brown, could be red.
Right. What's your favourite sauce, Peas?
What do you mean by source?
Sauce. Fucking sauce that you put on shit.
Oh, you said sauce or source?
It's fucking same thing. It's not sass or sauce. It's fucking sauce. Sauce.
Oh, I don't use sauce.
What's your favourite fucking sauce? Just answer the question.
I don't use those.
Fucking mayonnaise. I bet that's what it will be, ain't it?
I mean, unless you want to count ketchup, but then
that you can put on it's ketchup sauce. Yes, ketchup is sauce. It's red sauce.
well, I use it
that?
with my chicken nuggets, if that counts.
Ketchup
Oh
in
my
America.
god, he's Lion's Share says no, Uni, not your own white sauce.
Oh,
Ooh.
God damn it.
yeah. Oh no, not your white sauce. Oh, I was just then imagining you. Oh no, I weren't. No, I don't want to have been. Oh dear me, nightmares again tonight. Might look at it.
Yeah, stay away from Pornhub. They actually have videos like that.
My favorite sauce is Ray.
I never even heard of that one.
No.
What's in Uni's hair?
Fucking cobwebs. What are them things that talk?
I have
no.
pretty much no hair. I have pretty much no hair, so I like to keep it short. I have scarred everyone for life. I have scarred everyone for life.
What
I'm
you
sorry,
doing
Mr.
here?
Raccoon.
Don't do that to us again. You at least warn us.
Had to keep everyone on their toes, you know.
Oh, dear me. Oh God. Lions. Oh yeah, I watched that Lion King 2. No, it's Tiger, isn't it? Tiger King 2. Right funny. They're all just going to end up in jail. And that's that.
I don't even
Apart from the one that's dead, he won't end up in jail.
You know, I'm probably one of the few people that has never seen Lion King.
Have you ever seen Top Gun? I watched Top Gun for the first time the other week.
No, I've not seen it. I know of it though because of the video games.
I can play that on guitar.
Oh, the song from Top Gun?
Yeah, well, it's not a song, it's a tune.
Yeah, I do like that tune. I've heard it a bunch of times. It's actually pretty good.
With that, sorry.
No, I'm just going to say, Jason, it's looking like Fleck was subbed on 72 minutes saying it was an injury. So there's nothing else I can find yet.
He might have just been having a fit because he was being took off.
Oh, hang on. Looked like he was having a fit. His legs were shaking. He went down with a. It could be a bad injury, that.
Yeah, it could be.
I know he's got a back. I'm sure he's got a back injury or something like that he's been playing with.
Well, I'm sure people aren't really interested in that.
Oh, Jeffrey asked if I'm an AI. Yes, I am an AI.
You're what?
Jeffrey in the chat, he says he asked if I was an AI.
An AI?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. Was that a halter top you got on there?
Was that a what?
A halter top, I think that's what they're called, isn't it?
Oh no! Well, are you talking about my avatar?
Did you get it from Man at CNA? It were a top, weren't it? Weren't
I
it
don't know what that is.
No, I don't know
Man
what
at
that is.
CNA?
I don't even know what that is.
Spanish Chicken said that it looks like he's got safety glasses on for flying liquids.
Oh my god!
It does, doesn't it?
Okay. How does everyone that badly want to see me jack off on camera or something?
Yeah, everybody wants to see you do that, man. For God's sake, what do you think we are? Some sort of perverts? He reminds me of that other American fucking Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh god, Jeffrey Epstein, the America's equivalent to fucking Jimmy Savile.
Anything on the Ghislaine Maxwell trial that's started over there? Started yesterday, I think.
It started.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna take a look at that then, because yeah, that does look like it might be interesting. Hopefully, I mean, I don't expect that to go anywhere. It's just like, you really think that Ghislaine Maxwell is actually gonna blow the whistle and tell everyone the full truth? Like, no, it's not good. It's not fucking happening. They're gonna do something to botch this.
Did you see how many documents were put into court? How many? 3 million documents of evidence put into that court.
Dear God.
It's going to take fucking ages.
Oh yeah, it's gonna take that long. You'll have forgot who Ghislaine Maxwell is.
Fucking yeah, or uni Ghislaine Maxwell.
Maybe I'm her lost relative.
You might very well be uni. You might very well be.
Just like how Churchill and Roosevelt were distant cousins.
You what?
Churchill and Roosevelt were distant cousins.
What have they got to do with us or Ghislaine Maxwell?
Nothing. I just wanted to throw that out there.
See what I mean? It's one of them little, you do it like you stick one in. There's no wrong with it, mate. You just be yourself. That's all you can be, innit?
Yeah.
Just don't fucking show us yourself. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I'll keep my ugly mug off the camera. I'll keep my ugly mug off.
No, it's fine if you're going to be on, because then you get used to it. It's a bit like an hot bath. It hurts at first.
Well, the reason why I have my camera off most of the time is just because I'm laying on my bed and I don't want to look that unprofessional. I mean, you guys are at least sitting in a chair.
Thanks. I've fucking always sat in a chair.
Yeah. Spanish Chicken says no videos from Maxwell's trial, only artist drawings. Why no video?
Exactly. Because they don't want us to see. Because they know that it will get ripped every second. They'll be scrutinized and watched, and there'll be people watching to see if it's there's a green screen, to see if there's any glitches.
It's just like Francis said. It's like there are people skilled enough to be able to be able to go over her voice and see if it's actually the real the real Maxwell. People are, and it's like this whole thing. It's just like, it reminds me of Bush and Cheney when they were asked to, give their piece for the 9/11 Commission, but they did it in private, not under oath, and they just basically said, "Hey, we went into this room and told a couple of things, but we won't tell you what it was."
Jace, did you see the video from the Rittenhouse case where, in the back of the video, there's a fella who comes in walking down in the background, and his foot disappears in the carpet as if there's a green screen that's blocking the green screen. Something is not coloured in green so that the camera can see through it, and his foot completely disappears. This was on live stream. I think it was NBC that was streaming it. So we've got CGI going on. If that's a live court case and there's a CGI there, what's going on? Why are they doing that? You've got to be able to ask the questions. So when Taylor said, "Is it a setup?" Well, there's a question there. And if I can't ask that question, I want to know why I can't ask that question.
You seem to have gone all funny for some reason, Webby.
You what?
You seem to have gone all funny for some reason just then. It was really quiet. It was as if you got something muffled on that mic.
Is it all right now?
It's all right now, mate. Yeah.
I'm not moved.
But yeah, like the whole court case, it's like you said, if we aren't allowed to ask questions, and if we're just going to be told, oh, we're going to incite violence by being a conspiracy theorist, it's like, well, then who gets to who is allowed to control the information?
Well, we know the answer to that.
It's like, it's like we don't even know if the real Joe Biden, like if Joe Biden is even the real Joe Biden. He could just be a fucking actor for all we know. It's like I've seen people point out some stuff like his nose position is wrong or stuff like that, and you never know because you can't trust what you see on the television.
It's funny, isn't it, how people notice every single fucking thing. If they were a little bit more, when you were talking, I saw that thing where it looked like a green screen. If there were more of that, because that's on a 3-week trial, 4-week trial, over a 4-week trial. And if that's all there is, a disappearing bit of a foot, weren't it?
Yeah.
You could put that down to a glitch in the pixel or the camera or whatever. At that certain point at that time, you could, because if there were other evidence, and believe me, everyone will have been over it, especially when they saw that, they'll have been over it all, looking at every little bit, frame by frame for fucking 3 weeks. So it's probably, about March next year if they stop fucking. If they've been
I do think that
4 hours a day.
I do think some people nitpick a little bit too much. They try too hard to find something that isn't there sometimes, like when it comes to footage.
Sometimes it's on purpose, Jace. Do you remember the Max Egan interview that we did over the shootings down in New Zealand at the mosque?
Yeah.
Because people were picking things out of bullet holes that weren't there and cracks in windscreens and all that kind of stuff. In the end, even though there was some, there was something in some of the questioning, everything got lost in all that information. And that's how it's designed, isn't it? The good information, the bad information, and then the misinformation on top.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Yes, I do remember that. Listen, we're coming up to 3 hours, and I think that's about enough. These people fucking have got things to do other than listen to us fucking moaning on a fucking Tuesday night. It is Tuesday, isn't it? When you said earlier on by Friday, I thought to be saying by Friday. It is fucking Friday, but it isn't, is it?
I hope not, because I've lost a few days.
Yeah, we all would have, but that perhaps wouldn't be such a bad thing, especially these days. Just remember, if the alien invasion, the aliens will be real, the invasion will be fake. That's fucking.
Well, the aliens are fallen angels and demons anyway.
Pretty much. Well, just before we go, Jace, I'm going to give you another first. This is going to be my next T-shirt that's been printed for me.
I saw this, and I saw you'd done this, and I thought about putting your face on there.
That is my face. I've used Reface. That is me.
Yeah, that is him.
Is it?
Yeah.
You've lost weight.
Oh, I've lost loads of weight, mate.
Oh, and your eyes are closer together than they used to be. I think this is fucking fake. This looks like CGI to me.
Is it? Oh no!
I can tell you it is legitimate because I used Reface.
Reface. There you go. If you want your face on something, to make you look like you've got a gun in your hand. You know, I saw that the other day. I didn't notice it with your face. I'm sorry.
No, do
But
you
I've
know
never
what?
seen-
There's not many people had. Well, there was a girl who I work with. She comments. She says, "Do you know what? That looks like you with more hair."
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I didn't notice it with you, because I thought I'll put your face. Well, I just said it, did I? Yeah. Okay, now. Hey,
Brilliant.
so fucking believe no to what you see and fucking suck note what's thrust in your face.
Yeah, Jason, you should have Sean Hamer on sometime. He's got a lot of good information he always says in the chat.
Sean, right, if he wants to come on, he can come on. He knows that. He's fucking. I put link in tonight. He could have come on, no problem whatsoever. I'll be on next time, Sean.
Probably
If you
doesn't have
want-
a mic.
No, I don't have a mic.
That's what I'm guessing, at least.
Okay. Alrighty then. Well, I think we're done. Thanks a lot to Webby and Peas for your company tonight. I'll give you 30 seconds each, whatever you want. One last bit. Only if you want.
Webby, you go first.
No, alphabetical order. Go on, Mune.
all right. Well, first of all, sorry, Chris, if I said something. If I said something bad, it's just I was just trying to be honest.
Okay. Awesome. Wait, what do you mean? You said something bad, like he's not got a mic? You apologize.
No. Chris Partridge in the chat was like, "Oh my God, shut his mic off."
Oh, yeah, people say that about me all the time. Don't worry about it. Just, you know what, chat room, it just goes in one ear and out other with me. I look at it and read it, and, if I get fucking... Oh, that Scottish cunt come in, didn't he, the other day? Or, were it Friday or were it last week?
Brown, come on, yeah, Friday.
Yeah. Oh, I would have loved to have got him on, but he just didn't stick around or, talk to anybody or give anyone a chance to get a fucking word in. I would have got him on and then fucking cut him off.
Just to, if Sean can, if it depends on what kind of a phone he's got, but at least if he's got an Android phone, he can access us from his phone, because I've used my phone to come on the show a couple of times.
Yeah. Yep.
The sound quality might be ass though. Trust me, I've tried it on my phone. It's not fun. Oh God.
If it's not fun for you, what is it like for people listening to you and your ramblings, your rantings? Yes, well, I hope it's not been too anti-Semitic for you all tonight. Thanks to everyone who's been in chat room.
I didn't have my 30 seconds.
Oh, I thought you fucking had it then. What did you say?
I'll just give you a breaking news. Sheffield United midfielder John Fleck has been rushed to hospital after collapsing in worrying scenes during his side's 1-0 championship win at Reading. The Blades were leading brilliant. The Blades were leading at the time thanks to Jayden Bogle's second half strike. Fleck collapsed to the ground when off the ball, and his teammates immediately called for medical assistance. Fleck was helped back to his feet by the medics after receiving attention for nearly 10 minutes, given oxygen before being stretchered off.
It was COVID.
So do you know what? With all this though, the question has to be: has he been vaccinated? That's the question. Has he been vaccinated? Because this is not a one-off now of footballers collapsing. So,
and listen, footballers aren't fucking stupid, you know. There's what I know of at least one that listens to this show. So, he probably don't want to fucking admit he listens to this show, but I know that there's at least one. So they're not stupid. They're going to start asking questions. They're going to start.
I'd like to think so, you know, because do you know what? Still, me as a child, Jace, I could imagine myself now if I could play for Liverpool, putting one in the top corner at the Cop End, but telling people about all this, using that platform. But that's not what these players do. That, you know, £500,000 a week, you're being told what you're doing.
I'm not talking. Webby, I'm not talking about them coming out and saying things. What I'm talking about is them going back to the clubs and saying, "Well, you got me to have this fucking vaccine." You know, now because there's huge insurance payouts for players that careers are finished, and you know we've seen it with Eriksen, his career's over, and we've seen it with Aguero recently as well. His career's over and done with. So these players are insured, and these players have been insured for millions and millions of pounds. So somebody's then the insurance companies are going to want to recoup their losses. But they're not going to be able to, are they? So they're going to start kicking up a stink. This is all stuff that's going to go on that we don't see. I mean, we just don't know. But if I were a fucking footballer now, for a start, I wouldn't have been vaccinated, obviously. But if I were a footballer now, can you imagine when they're saying you need your booster? But so and so's coming in because that's what it'll be. It's your vaccines, lads. That's what it is. They'll have it done up fucking once, and them that don't want it won't have it.
Yeah, it's gone, mate, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's gone. I think I mentioned before that football could go off into a last boy scout type scenario where it's that corrupt about money and about this, that, and the other, and contracts that. To win and to get out of football, you know, people won't love the sport. They're just good at it. You know, it's as if there's not going to be any pleasure. It's like the world's winding down to death.
Yeah,
it's a very surreal situation. I've never experienced the atmosphere. You know, walking through your own town, it's not the same. It's different.
People are aware of each other, and
I've never understood the appeal of sports. To be honest, I cannot sit down and watch any kind of sports at all. I seriously don't get what the appeal is of it.
Says a man who watches fucking children's fucking Chinese cartoons.
He walked right into that one, didn't he?
Yeah. Anyway, but we'll wrap it up for tonight. Thanks, fellas.
God bless.
And see you all on Friday. Webby will be here if he wants to be, and maybe even Peas. You never know. But if you want to come on, site your send up between now and Friday, and then probably Friday I'll say, "Oh, I'm not coming on," and you'll site your send up for no. So don't site your send up, but just get ready. Be ready if you want to come on and say something. Don't be shy. It's not as fucking difficult as it. Well, it don't look difficult, I suppose, but it's as difficult as it looks. Right. Take care. I'll see you all on Friday. Love you all. And there's nothing you can do about it.